Kira, Kira. Special. Oh, it's about to go crazy in this stream, bro. Real songs, real coonery, real mafia shit, real Dying Will Flames, nigga.
I actually have a lot to say.
I have fucked on the say too, but gotta fuck them.
You ain't noticed? You notice I started early? There's a reason.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the rest of my day. After this, gonna go straight to bed. We gonna go 10.
When that cape comes on, I'm gonna call it out.
For me?
Yup.
It's the cloak of the primo. I gotta put it on.
Somebody stop this man, please.
I have a cape detector. We're several hundred miles away, but I can detect it. I need to order something to eat. I'm fucking starving.
Got you.
But yeah, the price of the wings went down.
We up.
You know what time it is, Pat?
Yes, sir. I might have to see what Wingstop hit for today.
Oh, fool. Nayo Giri.
You see that display, Ivy? You're a Meshi, real MC.
I was watching the fucking clips of him. That nigga's so fucking funny.
He's fucking hilarious.
Nigga punching women. I don't give a damn. That nigga's always talking shit, boy.
Wait, East, you never seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
No, I'm sure he's seen it. He's just watching those clips.
Okay, I'm just making sure because he said that like he ain't never seen it. He said he's watching clips. Like
No, because you know how you see something for years. They used to rewatch something. You see a clip and it reminds you of like.
Oh, okay. I would just
everything.
asking.
You know, I don't remember. He has some funny ass lines. You don't remember every line a nigga say. I was looking at some talking shit like Poema and other niggas talking about I'm gonna shove that pass bar up your ass.
I get it. I don't remember a lot of things niggas say.
Everything you say, I remember. That shit.
You just one of them. You just one of them niggas, Pat. I'd be tired of you.
Pat actually has a ridiculously good memory because
on April 15th, 2019, you said
right, yeah, type shit.
I don't know what I said this morning.
I want to hear what Simi has to say. Damn, why y'all cut him off like that?
Listen, as he be reading shit and then remembering specific details without listen, I had to take notes on top of I had to 2 separate notes to do shit like that. He just remember off rip. That nigga got a good ass memory. Shit.
Phoenix right ass nigga. This nigga need to be a lawyer for real.
Nah, Miles
don't got no memory like that. There you go.
Yeah, Miles Edgeworth. He remembers things. Phoenix just be fucking winging it.
He me for real.
Phoenix
really me for real. Turnabout king, baby.
That nigga got to look at his evidence like 20 times.
Like, he just like me.
Phoenix literally needs to break the fucking Knox Declaration just to remember shit. He needs his supernatural agency to remember shit.
I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo. I wanna be big in Tokyo.
You got a big ass on Denise?
Big in Tokyo. I wanna be big
in
Tokyo. Drink all the sake I want. Read all the manga I want. Wear all the babe that I want. Buy all the J's that I want. Be with any girl that I want. Drive any car that I want. I'm always out of the country. I'm sorry if I ain't home. If the money ain't calling, I never answer my phone. You can see the flow in my chakra. All we smoke is homegrown. You know the boy love ramen.
You don't stream, right?
On me, so I know a spot that has shield. I got a spot that has deals. Wait till I get a kimono. I'ma swag it out in my dojo. Some girls are asking for a photo. I guess this happens in Kyoto. When you young and popping in Kyoto. I ball with all of my nakamas. I dance with all of my nakamas. I drink with all of my nakamas. Yeah.
100%.
I only listen to Cole. I touched down with beats. You are my enemy.
I'm sorry.
You covered in jealousy.
Foodies.
You mean negro?
I do not.
Negro.
It's
I
nigga
do
Freezer,
not.
dog.
That nigga
I
can put
do
on
The
not-
canon, the most canon series.
I do not read that fan fiction that Toyotaro puts out.
This was all Tori. I don't remember. He said, "Let me put the pack on. Let me put them black Air Force
No,
Ones on."
no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Toriyama came out with 3 things from Frieza: second form, third form, final form. That's it. Oh, actually, yeah, if you want to count Mecha Frieza, then I guess 4.
I like
So, I
Black
don't know.
Frieza. I like calling you a monkey Frieza.
Negro Freezer.
Anyways, we're not here for Dragon Ball Super, the best version of the Dragon Ball series. What we are here to do is talk about the greatness of Katekyo Hitman. Reborn. All right.
Hey, the click.
You already know. Then the theme song play. Yes, sir.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, but so welcome to the next episode of Restaurant History. I don't know what number this is, but you know, we're doing Katekyo Hitman Reborn. This is a series where we kind of talk about finished manga. We speak about it in great detail from top to bottom, and we talk about its perception and see if it has actually changed over the years and whatnot. How y'all boys doing?
Good. Anything?
We live. We picking. We cooling. You're
Okay.
What?
Why?
We are doing just dandy. As a matter of fact, the fact that I'm even here today puts me in a very great mood.
Yeah. We'd love to hear it.
All right, we love to see it. Say hi to YouTube. Check the channel points, the IQ points. We got some new things in there, and we got a new emote, the I am moved emote. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and let's hop right in, man. Let's hop right in. So, we know how we usually kick these things off. I want to know how you guys got into Reborn. When did you start? How did you start? Did you start with the anime and manga? Have you seen both? Like, what's your origin story with the Reborn series? Because this is an integral part of my growing up.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Want to start us off?
Great.
I'll go first. I was like, no.
Shy or something? What's going on?
I can go first. Mine's quick and easy. I started Reborn when I was probably around 8 or 9. I think 9. This was back in the day when I was like kind of coming fresh into anime, and this was back when YouTube was like fresh to like you used to have all the anime basically put on YouTube for free. That was back when I was in my 12 episode anime mode, watching all these random ass 12 episodes that made no sense, and then I just randomly saw it pop up like in a recommended, and I literally
Watch episodes in parts, part 1, part 2,
Yep.
part 3.
And then I literally just watched it all, and I think this was around the time where like the future arc was close to ending. And I think when I caught up, I think I was like literally 6 episodes off from like the future arc ending, if I have my timelines correct, something like that. And then when I finished that, then I was like, oh, there's a manga that still goes after it. Then I read the manga, and that's kind of just and that was when the Simon arc was going on, and then the rest is just history.
Just out of curiosity, real quick, did you guys ever check any of those Vomix, those like kind of animated, voice acted comics when the Inheritance arc first started? They didn't go really far. They got to like Shitopi-chan's like introduction and stopped. But did you guys ever watch any of that?
tried, but I just didn't get far. I just kind of dropped it.
You're like me. You're like, I don't want the manga. I don't want this.
Yeah. Like it wasn't hitting properly for me. I was like, nah. I'm good. It's not really animated. Like, I'm good on it.
Okay, I think I appreciate it now, but back then that was not moving me. But all right, I'm just wondering. All right, I'll pick a next. Simi, tell us.
No, I have most definitely have the longest origin story.
You might not. It might be me, but go ahead anyways.
So, just similar to our host, Reborn is one of the biggest series in my life. One of the most integral things for me growing up during my preteen years. So, and it's a series that I hold greatly and dearly to my heart. Always will. I do have quite a bit of problems with it at the end of it, but it's regardless, it's still a series that's
Perfect, bro.
Solidifyly in my
Cape
top 5.
detector.
Perfect. No boy. But anyways, I wish I could remember the exact year, but I believe it was the summer going into 7th grade. But I'm chilling one day in my house, minding my business, doing normal semi things, whatever that may entail. And my cousin pull up, and he pull up to my house. He pull up to me, and he just constantly repeating "Reba, Reba, Reba" at me, and I have no idea what's going on. I have absolutely no idea what's going on, but it's making me laugh because the way he's saying it got me crying. Then he starts talking about, yo, there's a talking baby where all he says is reborn. He got a gun and he shoots you. And the first thing that runs through my mind is, this nigga lying. He is lying to me. But I'm like, whatever. He make me laugh, so it's whatever. Then, next day, he pull up again to my house. But now he got proof. He showed me his PSP. He got a demo on there. What's the demo he got on there? A little 2.5D fighting game called Katekyo Hitman Reborn Battle Arena 1. And I just couldn't believe my fucking eyes. First of all, he wasn't lying. Second of all, this shit was so gas. I had no idea what was going on. There was a baby literally saying reborn, just as he said. He had a gun. And then there's some kid with his hands on fire. And he fighting. And I'm like, boy, this is so raw. So we just playing the demo. I believe that demo only had 2 characters in it. I think it was Suna, and I think the other character was Goku Dara. I can't remember. Maybe it was Yamamoto. In any case, I was just putting hours into that demo. So much so that I took my ass to freaking PSP Demo Center, that legendary website. God bless you all who worked on that website. Found a demo myself and put it in my own PSP. And I'm just playing that shit. Like at least like 15 matches per day. Just doing that shit. I'm just playing as soon. I'm not trying to see this other nigga at all. I'm just playing as soon. I'm like, yo, this so gas. Then we on YouTube. Another following day, and we decided to finally look it up on YouTube. He like, yo, it got an anime, and we look it up, and we watch the first episode together, and I'm just screaming on laughter, boy. This man sooner gets shot, and he outside running his boxes, his top speed. So
I'm a shop in my dying will, nigga. This shit funny. Go
I'm
ahead.
howling like, bro, this shit is so crazy. He gonna confess his love with his dying will. I'm screaming, he just running in the street. I'm like, there's just no way. Then the rest is history. I started with the anime, was watching that shit. By the time I caught up, the anime was still ongoing. It was the future arc had like just started. They was still in the siege/raid arc of the Future Saga. That's the very first arc in the Future Saga.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just watching it weekly since on my favorite website, Anime Season. Oh man, those were the days. I wish I could remember what specific day the episodes came. It was either like on a Thursday or a Friday. I can't remember, but I used to look forward to that shit so much. And it was just so crazy. And watching that shit, it was like I didn't even realize that it was a part of Shonen Jump either. I just thought this was some brand new series that came out of nowhere and it just completely took my life by storm. Watching that shit, then I put my friends on it in school. Then it was just so great. Then the anime ended. I was pissed that the anime didn't animate all of the series, but it was whatever. Anime ended after the future arc. I thought it was gas. Then I was reading the Inheritance arc in the most hype beast way possible. And then I just fell off. I just fell into the void. I don't know what happened to me then, but I just fell into the void. But now we back revisiting the greatness that Amano gave to us back then.
Love to see it. Mr. Steve, how you going? Hi, what's going on, dude? You good?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
You had the show notes. Did I give it to you? I don't know if I sent it to you. Did I?
What'd you say?
Did I send you the show notes? Am I a fraud?
Nah.
Damn,
No,
I'm a
you
fraud.
didn't.
I thought I did. Hold on. I did. You got them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah, my bad.
But all right, Pat. What's your origin story?
My turn. Okay, so like most anime that I discovered from Shonen Jump.
Someone's echoing.
Why do I have an echo? Oh, is it gone?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so like most anime that I discovered in Shonen Jump, I was actually exposed to Hitman Reborn back in like 2008, 2009, back when I used to get the monthly Shonen Jump subscriptions in the US where they would have like
a chapter, a bunch of
whole
things.
volumes worth. Yes,
Yeah.
they would have whole volumes worth of series in Shonen Jump magazine for us here in America. Unfortunately, they discontinued for whatever reason, which was so dumb because it's one of the best ideas they ever had. But I remember when I used to read my little Naruto, my little Bleach back in the day, I wasn't into One Piece yet. I used to see like other series, peep them from time to time, be like, oh, this looks interesting. And I saw this nigga with flames on his head and flames coming out of his hands. I was like, he looks really fucking cool.
Yep.
And I read a little bit of it. I believe when I was reading it, they were in the middle of the future arc in the magazine. And I saw him actually use the X burner in one of those volumes. And I was like, bro, this attack looks fucking raw. Like the art style was very different from what I was used to at the time. And I was like, I might come back to this one day. And I never came back to it. I was so caught up in Naruto and Bleach at the time, I never came back to it.
It'd be like
And
that happens.
yeah, it wasn't until I want to say 2012, 2013, back when both of those series was about to end, and by then I'm a huge One Piece fan. And like the sites that I used to read all the big three, you know, they would have Hitman Reborn still updating as well. And I was like, bro, that shit still comes on? Like, so I was like, okay, let me give it a chance. Started the anime. It was not like what I expected at all. First couple episodes, I was just like, what is this shit? Why is he not on fire? Where's the flames coming from his hands? All this nigga doing is running around screaming, doing slice of life shit. Was I hoodwinked? Did my eyes
he said I was
deceive me?
tricked.
Yeah, I actually had to go back and open up my volume. So I was like, wait, no, this nigga does fight for real. I was like, okay, let me stick it out. So I was like, I thought I was tricked for a second. So I watched the anime. Daily life arc, got through it, and then I got to the Katekyo arc, and I was really interested in Makuro from first glance because he had the six pass eye. I was like, that's really interesting. And then I got through that shit. I finally got to see Suna fight. I was like, finally, this is the nigga that I remember. So I got that shit. Got to the Varia arc. Thought that was cool. I watched the future arc in the anime. I watched the anime up until it ended. Unfortunately, Reborn suffered from that curse of the 2000s anime where they didn't finish shit.
Yep.
So after I finished that, I started reading the manga, and I'm glad that my memory did not betray me. I am still of the belief that the final two arcs in the manga are the best arcs in the entire series.
Okay.
Steve, I half agree, but yeah.
How you get into Reborn, if you remember? It's the origin story. How you get into it?
For me, actually, like, Reborn was something that I was aware of for a while. Mm-hmm. Like Pat said, like I always saw it in the Shonen Jump, like the little volumes they used to send out or whatever. But I never gave it a chance until like 2017, 18 maybe. Mm-hmm. When it was kind of like around the time when I got into like the the BDA community, because like it was a few people
That makes sense.
who was into it, and I was like, okay, I might as well give it a chance. So I tried to read the manga, couldn't really get into it, and then somebody was like, you should just watch the anime. I didn't even know there was an anime. So I started watching that and almost immediately fell in love with it. Like that opening, it really hooked me. And to this day, it's still one of my favorite openings.
Yep.
The first opening, the best opening.
The first
Yeah,
one?
the first
I
opening.
like LMC.
That's what I
88.
always say.
That was my favorite, I think. Wasurete shimau gara. That's my favorite one.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
First one
I
was
like
dope.
them all, but the first one my favorite. Like it got that thing, you know. But that was pretty much it for me. Like it was this dude named PGK. He kept on pushing it. I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance at some point. Then I finally did, and ever since then, I've just been a super big fan. So that was pretty much it for me.
I feel it. Istoburu. What about you, friend? How you get into Reborn and when? How? Origin story. I need to know all the deets. I don't know if he's there. Is he there?
I mean, it should be. He just has himself muted
Yeah,
because
he's
it's
muted.
background loud. But
Okay.
Yeah, I am here. I got a phone call. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I'll go in the meantime. It's fine. So, he said I got a rep Sunny Day, Funny Day. That's a good one, too. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good ones. I like Boys and Girls. There's a lot of them. We'll talk about it later. That's like what's a topic for later. This is one of, like, there's not too many, like, mangas or series that I could think was a super duper integral part of, like, my, like, growing up. Bonjour, mon coeur. But Reborn was one of them. Like, you guys don't understand the amount of inside jokes and things that we had, like, growing up with this series. For all the ones that know, I didn't have any, like, spoilers or anything. So the first time Suna lit both his hands on fire against Mukura was literally the first time I ever seen that shit. So I was not spoiled on that in any capacity. I had no idea the series was going to get serious out of nowhere. I was cool with the daily life arc because as long as I'm laughing, I'm having a good time. And I was laughing. I legitimately think Reborn is a funny series. That being said, it did take me, like, I guess 2 attempts, and on my 3rd attempt, I got like this big-headed baby. You know what the hell? This guy running around, he naked. just it wasn't really moving me. And honestly, it's like it's kind of like Gintama, where it's not like I didn't like it. It just I had to be in the mood for this, so it just wasn't the time. I tried a couple more times, and then, boom, most album, and then I was like, hold on, this is funny though. Like, I think Dino was the character I liked the most at first. I thought his gimmick was hilarious, but really like Hibari. But then by the time Xanxus came around, you know what it was. However,
Yeah.
I just love this series, and this was the series where I actually was like in a dedicated forum for it. This is the one manga days. We usually read one manga, and this is like when I used to read like all my Jump on like Friday for the most part, right? We had a forum in the one manga, and we used to go so hard and so deep with like. And this is kind of like what like the beginnings of me starting to think more critically about like anime and manga, things of that nature. There's this guy called Harlan Phoenix. I think his name was like Froggy Man 99 or whatever. And they used to go in because they're the ones that pointed out that the Varia were based off like the 7 deadly sins, but based off their name and stuff like that. And I never took that in. And that's when I started to probably like really start to kind of cut my teeth against people who are good at analyzing stuff. And that's how I got like better at this. And yeah, you could propose the video whenever you're ready. I'm listening. And then yeah, so now we're like in my school and stuff, and for years we're watching it and reading it and stuff from like a little bit of middle school to like high school. I think it might have been the beginning of high school to the end of it and stuff. Everyone's got their little like team and faction. I'm like Varia, Xanxus. My friend, he's the Mukuro stand. My other friend's the Yamato stand. And like I remember the last arc happened, and we were all making bets and talking shit. Like, bro. Like, man, I'm like, he probably don't want to see Xanxus. Are you guys crazy? Like, we're just talking so much shit. Like, I could be in the hall walking to class. I'll see one of my friends take a stance, literally run into the locker and drop, and we start dying of laughter from when Yamamoto was fighting Genkishi. We call it the Yamamoto face plant. This nigga really ran into a wall, and we used to roast him for that shit. We had so many jokes like that, and it was just the best, man. We greeting each other with Chow Su. The first con we went to. Everyone got a Vongler ring based on their favorite Guardian. Now I actually didn't get I still got the whole Sky set. I actually lost one of them. I had every version of the Vongler ring. I have the 2 that connect. Then I have the I guess is it the original version? I think it's called the original Vongler ring. Then there's the version that I think that with Primo unlocks Johto. I might be remembering one. Then I have the Vongler gear. Like I had all of them. Actually, not too long ago when I was driving, a bee flew into my car and I swiped at it and my ring flew off my finger out the window onto the highway.
Oh,
Gone. Gone. So yeah.
I too have a similar story.
Tragic.
I know. I was like that, and it's the only one I can't find. It's like, oh, I can't find this version of it. Oh, yeah, great. So, but it is what it is. But honestly, this series meant a lot to me, and it had a very special place in my heart. And I'll never forget when Zan just beat 2 niggas sitting down, and I said, "Listen, man, you ain't never seen someone so raw. His rage be moving me. I understand." And yeah, and that's really.
I too have a very similar story. I also had the majority of every version of the Vongler rings. I lost the original one, and then the Vongler gear version, it wound up just falling apart over the years. But I never forget in 7th grade, I bought I believe I was in the middle of watching it, or maybe I just finished it, but I bought the entire set, the entire Vongler set, and I gave them out to all my Guardians. A lot of them niggas didn't even watch anime, let alone Reborn. They took it.
Shit, so cool, you know.
They were. Like, and I never forget. This shit was so funny. It just a funny, was very small thing, but I thought it was just super funny to me. A middle school memory of mine where it's lunch and niggas outside in the playground, super sunny ass day. I mean, it's fucking blazing hot, boy, right? So I'm out there, I'm outside, you know, I'm miserable. You know me, I fucking hate the heat. I'm melting and shit. I see the nigga who I gave the sun ring to. I never forget. This shit was so funny. So he had it, he was wearing it as a necklace. So he had it around a string. He was wearing it around his neck. And the nigga just looked mad happy. Like, he just looked like in his element. I said, look at this son nigga go. The sun out. He have full 100% power. This nigga playing ball. He just walk like, just pep in his step. I thought that shit was so raw. I said, look, anime real. Always has been. But yeah, I also had a similar story with those rings. I still have the Vongler gear version of the Sky ring, but it's complete. It don't look nothing like how it's supposed to. All of the fucking both gem parts fell off. It's just pretty much just a metal framing and that's it. But similar to him, it is one of those series that just such a big part of my freaking life. My entire middle school life was Reborn. That's it. Nothing. I was not looking at nothing else. But, well, that's a lie, because I got into both Kinnikuman and Fate at that time. But when I was in my Reborn bag, shit, you couldn't tell me nothing about nothing else.
Nothing else. At all.
Yeah, but East is back, so yes, take your turn.
All right, y'all. Sorry I was late. You know, we should have saved the best for last, but Simi had to go like second, so here we are. Nah, nah, man. So for me, I'm gonna hurry to pick this up because I know we kind of running behind. So for me, it was I don't know if you remember years exactly, but it was I think it was about like around like 2012. I was going in the freshman year, but it was like. No, I was like, damn. It was a summer going in like I think like around 8th grade year, and I don't know. I think the anime was already finished at this point, so it was like a whole summer. I had randomly just found the series. I knew nothing about it. Like I think Pat was the same. I want to say he didn't know anything about the series, or was it Naya that said he didn't know anything about? No, it was Naya. He said he didn't know anything about the hands, nothing like that whatsoever. So for me, so you know how like Crunchyroll has like, well, you know all anime's got the posters, right? Shit like that. So Crunchyroll had the one that has now for like the future arc, and it has like Suna and like Shuri and all the motherfuckers, and like it just has everybody in the collage. And I'm always a big fan of like posters where they has all the characters up there, just like plaster, like, oh, who's this, who's that, this, that, and the other, right? So I was like, oh, this shit look kind of cool, man. So let me go peep it. And I was sitting there and like I have no idea anything about the series, about anything whatsoever. So I'm just peeping. I'm like, okay, I'm over here fucking laughing my ass off, no good sooner and shit like that. And shit starts slowly coming together, like here and there, like, oh, this character. And the first opening just fucking hooks you in too. It's like, it just like I was like, I just felt the vibe and shit. So, and it's the thing about this, it literally plays into every trope I favor and genre I favor. Like, I fucking love mafia shit, like assassins, mafia, found family trope will always hit no matter what. You got that, you automatically a fucking 8 in my book, no matter what fucking movie it is. Like, the found family trope always hits. So when you combine it, I didn't like slice of life too. So like you combine all that into like one thing, and it's like it's getting more serious as a story progresses. Of course, my love deepened as the story progressed too. So I'm watching the anime, so I'm just enjoying myself. So then start getting a little bit more serious, and then the thing is the second or third open. No, don't think I'm not. Yeah. They're like, I was like, oh shit, we getting serious every time, just for a time. You see, like I was like, oh shit, this shit get like even more gas. And the fucking Mercury arc, that shit was really hitting too. So like Suno doing what he did and stuff like that. That I want to really can't wait to touch on upon my reread how Amano's strength is setting up a lot of stuff prior to like when it comes to power ups. Like they'll have people kind of figure shit off screen, but you won't know. They'll be like, good job with that. Or like, I finally figured this out. Like in the future arc, Goku there figure out the CIA siesta system and shit like that. And then Yamamoto figure out his shit like that. Is like the way they figure things out like there, but not showing it fully. And then like how it comes back, especially a lot of shit Suna figured out, like how to do the X burner. And he was like, you need a complete balance and you need support. And how he did that shit was really fucking cool. It's like, and how Lambo had taught him about something else too. I wrote my notes, but we'll get that later. It's just like a lot of things upon revisiting, but it's just the way the story just progressed. I watched it all the way to the future arc, and my cousin told me not to binge it. I was like, fuck, I ain't got nothing else to watch. So Reborn was the first. He was like, don't binge it all, bro. You won't have that else to read. I was like, nigga, we got 2 or 3 episodes. Shut the fuck up. I binged that shit one summer. I was sad as fuck. I'm like, damn, I should listen to this nigga, bro. But so like a few years passed, and it was like 2013 summer, like the 2013 summer, and then I was sitting there. So Reborn is the first series that I actually realized that the manga is like the original source material, and it follows through like up ahead and through. I had never knew this before. I'm a nigga in ATLs. Not many niggas that know or can put you on to all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, black sheep, nobody else openly reading or watching it. Yeah, so I'm all alone. So I figured out myself, like, oh shit, the manga's like the source, it keeps going. I was like, wait, so the anime is like this it's an adaptation. I started figuring out shit, researching in that. Google out, you know what I'm saying? So I start peeping, I'm like, oh shit. So I read everything from there. And I think it was the day of or like that week of the last chapter had came out is when I just had caught up. Like just then, like chapter was it 409? 409 it was 409. It was just coming out that week. I had like just caught up, and I was like, man, this is one of the best experiences I've like ever had. But that was like my first big shonen like anime. Like I was really synced in. I was with Naruto because that was just like in Dragon Ball. That was like oh, that's the classic. Everybody watching that. But something that truly appealed and spoke to me was Reborn, and that was my first like in my heart. Because you know how we got like everybody got Naruto, Bleach, everything. But what's something that one of the bigger series that like spoke to my heart in my youth is Reborn. So that's why it's always my top 5 ever since that day. Okay. So yeah,
I feel it. Do you guys think that it's hard to get into because of the daily life arc? Because I know it takes 19 episodes, I believe, in 61 chapters to kind of move on to the Mukuro arc. What?
I want to say this. I say it depends on circumstances for every different person. Because if you had the expectation of it being an action series or a battle shonen, and you see like, and it's like, all right, people gas it up, but you don't see nothing to look forward to, and you got to binge through this. It's like, all right, comedy, no good sooner, this and the other. Like, where the rawness at for this nigga, or like this and the other. It's like, if you don't know the expectation of what he really becomes, it's like, all right, where's it at? And you trying to binge through it. It's like, all right, if you fall off, I understand. Well, for the anime, it's much easier than the manga because the scan's kind of dog shit, like. But,
it's one of the worst reading experiences ever.
Yeah. So like scans really do like affect too, especially as you get older and you consume more. What quality is. So I think it depends on circumstances or depend on a person type. Be like if you do the anime or the manga, and then what you expect going into it. I think that's how I would say. But
I say yes because I know how these new niggas are nowadays. They do not believe in satisfying payoff. They just don't believe in it. They need instant gratification in order to like a series.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga don't do something raw chapter one, they're not peeping it. They just won't.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. What about just in general, like even for the time period? Do you think it would be? I do think it was more common to set stuff up, but do you think it was so hard for some people? Because even me, it was my third type, but it wasn't like because I didn't like it. I just had to be in the mood.
If we're speaking in general, I would say yes, only because Amano Sensei didn't really do a good enough job of showcasing what's to come. Like she did a good job of like foreshadowing her power system
Mm-hmm.
and showing that it was always present. She always had the idea, but she never really extenuated what it was going to become later on gradually. It just sort of happened. Like one day Makuro just shows up and then the series flips on its head.
Okay.
So this question, I should say, my answer is actually very, very, very nuanced. So I have two answers pretty much. So for me, it's both yes and no. During the time period that it came out, I would say no, not really, because that instant gratification of having something gigantic and major happen within like the first 5 chapters or so was not the norm. So, anime fans at that time, especially shonen fans at that time, it would be no brainer. They was used to the 100 episode anime, the
Mm-hmm.
50 plus
Yes.
episode anime. That was the norm. So back then, I would say no, it's not that hard to get into. But now, my answer is both yes and no. So essentially, what I'm trying to get at is, would I recommend this to somebody who is just getting into anime or who has never watched anime before? The answer is no. I
Okay.
wouldn't recommend that to them first. I would recommend it to somebody who is a little bit more tenured, not and I'm not even saying like medium level either. I mean, maybe they looked at 4 or 5 series. People who looked at like 4 or 5 series and onward, or feel like, oh wow, I looked at everything. Is there anything else? That's who I would recommend it to.
Mm-hmm.
But people who just got into anime, people are like, oh well, this anime thing is kind of big. Can you recommend me something? No. But people who are looking for something, or shonen fans who feel like they've read or seen everything, yeah, because of that long first daily life arc and whatnot. But you know me, generally speaking, I don't think there's anything wrong with a slow start at all.
It's
So
my preference.
personally, yeah, it not only is my preference, but I think it's a very immature thing to automatically stick up your nose to anything that has a slow start. Personally speaking, but I know how people are, and I know how manga's written today too. So yeah, so my answer is actually both yes and no at the same time.
Okay. Does anyone else want to answer the question before I go?
Um, I think that just based off of what I've seen from other people who try to get into the series, that I would have to say that it is hard to get into.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, I actually enjoyed the way that the series starts, and seeing how it goes later. It actually gives a decent foundation to how the story turns out. So, I mean, I think that it worked for me personally, but just based off of different friends and people that I just so happen to come across on the timeline on Twitter, it seems like it's a trial.
Okay.
Oh, we know them niggas, man. We know them niggas.
Miles, did you say anything? Did you want to chime in? Or you good?
Uh, no, I mean, I think I agree for most parts. It's so hard because like when I first started, it was so long ago, so I can't even really remember like I guess the word is the style of comedy back in that time. I kind of want to say it was pretty normal for the time, but I can definitely see like I don't know if I would even say the fact that it's daily life is the issue because I think that was really complex. I think it's just maybe more so how she tackled like her comedy and the character that Suna was that may be more off putting than anything in the beginning, at least
Mm-hmm.
at that time.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys kind of went all over the spectrums, and I don't disagree with really anything you guys said. Because to me, I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's actually pretty easy and seamless to get through. I know some people are very impatient, like Pat said. No one cares about like earning some long-term payoff. They want instant gratification. That's just how it is nowadays. But I do think it's unforgivable to skip it, because I actually do think, while Pat Mesa has a good point about it not foreshadowing certain things, and maybe that it would get a more serious turn at some point, I do think she does a lot of things like establishing the world and kind of, sprinkling the power system. And I think for me, I can tell, like, I told you I was the hook moment. For me was actually, now I can't remember the order, but once I knew there was 3 babies with a pacifier, I knew there was something going on, and I was intrigued by that. So I needed to know, like, these are not just random babies with guns and shit, right? Like, there's a bigger mystery here, and that's what drew me in. Really, like, it's actually the secret of the Alcobareno that ultimately that I was like very, very, very interested in. So that's kind of my answer. But I don't think it's bad. I think it just might just depend on the person. Are you more of I need my action quick and fast? Are you more patient? Are you a slice of life merchant? Some people don't like that, so I just think it depends. But I do think it's unforgivable to skip.
So I'll say this. So if you were to skip it, one of the biggest moments in that arc, like let's say you just skip to the Mukuro arc, right? Mm-hmm. Off early on onset, and you just like skip deep into it where the niggas start fighting already. You would miss a very big thing, which is the way the family is built up with the first round of the Guardians. Mm-hmm. Why Goku Dare it fucking like respects Suna, how he came in as a punk, fucking talking about fighting the teacher and shit. And then why he ends up respecting Suna, because that's the really big important thing that comes in later on with and the Simone family arc.
East?
Okay, I thought it was crazy. He just disappeared.
Damn, I hate to see it.
Yeah, I thought I got on a phone call or something. You got snatched up. He got snatched up. Oh, okay, we'll wait for
just to piggyback off what E said. You cannot. I hate people who skip anything because it doesn't matter how you feel about the importance of the events prior to the stuff that you care about. When authors present things, they do it for a reason. Mm-hmm. The stuff that happens in the daily life arc is meant to build like character relationships and foundation for the series going forward. Something that you could fall back on, like, oh, this happened because of that, or this wouldn't have been able to happen if this didn't happen, or this person is the way he is because of what happened with that person. Like, these are important things that you have to know going forward.
Yep. You back?
You stupid as shit. I don't know what the fuck that was, but thank you for covering my ass, Pat. For real.
All right.
Thank you, Conaleno.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like Pat said, it's a foundation setup. So you skip, like, let's just say you meet a bitch and you get married within the first week or first month. You didn't spend no time actually getting to know the person. It's even people that spend time getting married with people that they've known for years or so, or such and such. They move in and then it's a completely different person when you didn't. But like, at least sometimes you had the foundation and support built up first. So when you just jumping in, you're not hip to all these new things you find out. So like, I think one of the best moments in that fucking arc with the Mukuro arc is that when Goku Dara helps out and busts out fucking Hibari. And when you find out Hibari's weak to the little flower shit. But when he busts him out, it's like he's like, so I bite these 2 animals to death, and then like just knowing that Hibari's helping them is just like it's a really good character moment, because you know how the established precedent, like who he is as a person and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And later on, it's like it's like the growth of the characters. Like Hibari, when he comes in, he saves somebody. It's never like it's always like the same disposition, but he's saying something like to save them out. Like I was like when he come in, it's like yo. I'll get my payback, but I still got a lesson to teach you sooner. Like when he was like in the Simone family and inheritance arc.
They teach him about what is pride, about pride. Yeah,
that was what.
Hibari moment.
Yeah, he was like, pay attention, little animal, and I was like, hey yo, this nigga killed.
When he asked for where Enmo was, And after I can't remember what someone says, like, what's the difference ecology-wise? Because they're both herbivores to him. That shit was so funny. He's like, what's the difference? They both some burgers.
Bro, so obviously that's the thing I feel like we missing sometimes. That's one of the best things in anime that I feel like is missing sometimes nowadays is having that nigga character. Like, this nigga pull up, I know he's set. So it's just like, and it's like good things like that. Like the foundation is built because even if you just skip up ahead, you won't realize why Suna's still the way he is if you just skip to the Mukuro arc. And you won't realize like him having to fight his friends, and that's who is part of his character, is not trying to harm his friends as a person. It's like, nigga just hit them, but it's like, well, if you understood who Suna was as a character, they even asked for this shit, and it's like, I don't want to really hit my friends. Muroko's swapping around bodies and shit, and it's like, and then like him pushing these people forward, it really enrages Suna and pushes him to that new level too. You know what I'm saying? So like, but you have to have you have to know the established feelings he has with these people that you building up when the situation not serious. That's why I always like slice of life. When the bigger moments come in, it kind of hits more to me because it's just like the down moments are really what make a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
No, you need that moment also to decompress, which is why I like any series that has moments and times where the character just kind of lays about, even if they just finished stopping an asteroid from colliding into Earth, and it's like, what are they doing now? They're eating ramen. Like I need that. I like that shit. So, I want to talk about our favorite characters, but before I actually, I guess ask you guys what your literal favorite characters are. I want to talk about the Vongola Guardians first. Like who are your favorite amongst the Vongola Guardians? And if it overlaps to like your favorite character, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Because I also want to talk about your favorite Aqua Morena, but we'll save that after. So, who's your guys' favorite? Actually, I'll make it a little more interesting too. Who was if you can remember, like, if your favorite character or favorite guardian changed, let me know, because I'll start this one off. My favorite was initially Hibari, right? It became Mukuro later on, right? Like as I reread it a couple of times, it became Mukuro, but initially Hibari was the best guardian. Nothing you could tell me about it. He was kind of goated. I kind of realized what type of character he was. That's just a bad thing. I just kind of noticed it as I got a little older and smarter. And I started to kind of pick up more on Mukuro's nuances, and I'm like, you know what? He's not as bad as he comes across. I think the most interesting thing about him is you can't really peg his morality. I'm not saying he's a good individual, mafia, blah, 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 and he's like killed or whatever, right? But my point is he on our side? Is he not? Is he like Chrome? Is he not? Like I actually think she does a good job of keeping him somewhere in that middle ground where you can make a case for either side or just kind of stay in the middle. So Mukuro is my favorite guardian.
Oh yeah?
Cool.
That's actually pretty interesting because I was thinking I wouldn't even consider him a guardian, but technically he is. But I was more so focused on Chrome. But technically he is a guardian at the same time, so it's kind of was interesting.
I'm in the same boat as you.
That's an interesting conversation to have. We can have it after. Just remind me who do you consider the Mist Guardian? Are they two halves of the same coin? But yeah, I consider it Mukuro for the most part.
Almost like a Yugi and Yami situation.
Wasn't Yugi actually good at dueling though? I don't know. I don't remember if someone told me that. I don't.
He was, but he shouldn't have been. But that's a whole different.
They said Mukuro's my favorite, but Okudera is the best guardian. Okay, Yamamoto at the start, then Hibari.
Culture in the chart. Yeah.
All right, Pat, go ahead.
The stage has been set. Thank you, chat, for alley-ooping me. I'm about to slam dunk this shit.
Oh shit!
Listen. There's nothing that gets me more riled up in a good way than when you have characters with this punk ass attitude and you try to tell them something and they suck their teeth and they be like, gets me every single time. This nigga Gokudera pulled up, see the nigga who he was supposed to be serving. He said, "This motherfucker."
Him?
There's no way.
He was sick. Yeah. He was actually sick.
He gotta pass the test. Every time Suna looked at him, he was glaring at him like he wanted to kill him. I was like, yo, what's his problem? But this is like really, really fucking funny. Like, I'm enjoying it. Mm-hmm. But then later on, he saw the potential in Suna and pledged his loyalty to him and decided to become his right-hand man. And I really appreciate the loyalty that Goku Dara has towards Suna, because he believes in him, even though that punk ass burger doesn't believe in himself most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, to me, he's the backbone that holds the Vongala family together. Because you pair him up with any Guardian, instant combination play off rip. He can pair up with any Guardian on the spot.
Agreed.
He's very intelligent. He can read a situation. He has a quick temper, but he could cool himself down in battle when he needs to.
Raging Storm, man. Raging Storm, baby.
And he's just fucking cool, man. Just look at him.
Bro, when they skipped and it was like Goku Dare and Yamato learn how to ride the bikes very, very quickly. They just skipped. It was like, look at this on the bikes, raw shit. Nigga with a cigarette.
So damn cool, bro. Light a cigarette, nigga, 14 years old, he a chain smoker.
He didn't. I remember one time he pulled up to school. He's like, "Boss is not here. Neither that baseball idiot. My phone's dead. He's cuts." The teacher's like, "Hey, yo!" I said, "He said that's literally some shit I'd be doing. Like, I'll leave it."
Nigga in class, kicking his feet up on the desk, not paying attention. Teacher getting mad at him. He tried to call on him because he's not paying attention. Nigga answered the question correctly.
Like he invented his own language. Don't play him.
But that's one of the funniest things with a nigga. The punks are actually geniuses too at the same time. They're not stupid.
Yeah. Steve-O, favorite Vongala Guardian?
My favorite Guardian, like Suna doesn't count because the Guardians are for Suna, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we're if we're going with semantics, I don't know, but I not Suna though. Exclude him for now.
I never count Suna. I was just making sure.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. It would be Hibari.
Okay.
And I just like Hibari because like he always represented. Yeah. He always represented like that raw nigga that's supposed to be in all the battle shonens.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just that nigga that shows up and you know the job is gonna get done. And I always appreciate that type of character.
Curious.
So that's why he was my favorite.
Do you think that like I think me and Pat for sure I know are locking step on this because we actually think his future version is the best version of him. I thought that I dislike present Hibari, but I do think he's a better character in the future arc.
I think I would agree with that.
Okay.
I think he just that 10-year difference it actually made him grow and mature. And he turns from just being like a edgelord who just really cool to actually having more depth to him. Mm-hmm. Like he understands the world better. So
okay. Miles.
My original Guardian actually, I don't think it's changed, but like at this point, the only change is that it's actually a true blue tie for me. Mm-hmm. With Goku Dare and Yamato. Goku Dare used to be my like OG just number one favorite for sure, but now it's a tie. I'm kind of with Pat with like I love Goku Dare just because of like the loyalty he has to Suna. I love that because Suna's my favorite character, but I love it because like there's a lot of things that like it's not just like okay, Goku Dare loves Suna. He is for sure the right-hand man. Everything's hunky-dory. Like, no, there's certain things within the relationship that have to be worked out. And there's certain things that Goku Dare has to learn about himself. And just because he wants to be the right-hand man doesn't mean he is the right person for said job. Mm-hmm. And that's something that he has to learn and come to terms with and grow from as the series goes on, which I really appreciate.
Do you consider him the right-hand, though?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
I think for the majority of the series, probably no one could really be that role. Honestly, I would say Yamamoto fit a better role earlier on than him, honestly.
He was more dependable at the start, yes.
Yeah. I look at both of them, though, as like the right and left plant. Like if One Piece, like the right wing and left wing.
I was literally about to make that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
That connection.
Because I think sometimes Yamamoto's importance to the group is highly underrated because of like how Yamato acts, but the Yamato's more of like his actions help define what he does more so than his words. So sometimes it can be like lost in translation, I feel like. But he picks up the slack in a lot of situations, and his willingness to be open and help others. And that's why I also like first, like I think this is the first time we ever see him get mad is during the Gamma shit with him and Gokudera.
Oh yes.
And he's like the one that has to like get Gokudera right. Like, in what universe do you think you're a good right hand when you don't fuck with anybody on the team? Why would we like respect you? And Gokudera's kind of like the idiot's kind of speaking facts for the first time ever. And, like,
I love it when niggas get called out.
Yeah. And then Gokudera's like, all right, bro. He was like, all right, you right. And then as Pat says, he's like, let me get the plan out. And they got the plan out. Now, Gamma with him being super strong is whatever, but I love both of these characters for what they do, and I think East, you kind of alluded to this with the shit to P stuff with Gokudera, where it's like Gokudera also isn't like blindly loyal. Like he doesn't ignore Suna's faults. He's like, I know Suna's not smart. It's not like that's not like lost on me. That's not like a hard thing for me to understand. But just because he isn't smart, just because he's bad at certain things, doesn't mean that there aren't really great qualities that outweigh everything else he's done. He's still a loyal person to his friends and family. He will fight for us. He will try his hardest to do what he can to make sure everybody's okay. And I respect that. And sometimes that's all you need. And I think that was a really good moment. And then, yeah, Yamato's is like, I think that it just goes back to like the more subtle things I saw about like even his growth of him being like more so the idiot, but even him coming to realize the terms of like what's going on, what he has to do, and like coming to terms of like even like I even love the conversation with the baseball and the thing, and he's like, so would you give up baseball for sword training? He's like, I'll give it up for it. He's like, okay, just for now, I'll go back to it. It's like, what? It's that weird like kind of like compromise, but like he's an idiot, so it's lost on him, but it's also like you can do this. Yeah. And I think what Yamamoto's done for all the other Guardians is also really crucial and important. I just appreciate that. And I also like this is like not like anything special, but like I just like that. I feel like him and Reborn also saw Yamato is like, yeah. From what I see from Reborn, it seemed like Yamamoto was the one he wanted the most, and it put the most respect, and he's the only Guardian that he actually trained himself and told his secret to out of anybody.
He knew it first before even Dino, if you think about it.
Yep.
Dino learned in the last arc with Suna, did he not?
Yeah. Yep.
That's right.
So there's just certain things about Yamamoto where he kept that information. He's doing all these things for people that like I just love both of these two.
All right. It's East and Simi left, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
East, you go, and Simi, we'll save you for last.
Okay. All right. So for me, I'm just like Miles over here. So it's a tie. So originally my OG was my OG was Yamamoto, right? But I'm just like fucking like we all know if you got elementals, everybody usually picks like a fucking element, right? I know Pat gonna go with fire because but you just
water
you just
baby.
Yeah. So I always pick if you ever got water or ice, that's my automatic go to, right? So of course, off rip it was Yamamoto. And then plus I love fucking sword fighting too. So of course my first stand was like Yamamoto off rip, like the original first run. But over the course of like the rereading this shit like that, Gokudera actually went up there and tied for other reasons. Also, like y'all been here long enough. Me and Simi got the Emperor Zai Emperor gimmick going on just like the other. So upon reread, it was funny because I started using Gokudera means to talk to Simi as he was like he was sooner. But yeah, and shit like that. So it was good jokes. But over the course of really looking at that, it was really interesting to see like a lot of things. So like Miles was talking about too. So with Yamamoto, it was interesting. Like he has a character quality that's going under mine because it's funny how Amano really put the like attributes in effect through different various ways subtly. So he really was like the tranquil rain to come through and wash away and soothe everything down because when everybody gets riled up and hot heads and he's the one with like laid back or like easy going cool disposition like
He's
all
the
right guys
calm.
yeah like
Yep.
and Gokudera is always the hot headed storm but he's like yo let's ease it up yo he's off the kid or yo it's okay guys soon it can do or we just have faith he's always the one like giving that other support that's really calming and soothing like all right you know what let's ease up maybe we are taking this too serious right? I know it's a fight but let's have some more faith to, ease up and shit like that, right? So, and it's like a lot of his growth too is really amazing throughout the entire story, especially his sword play and shit like that. Still one of the best fights with Squall, the way he really outmaneuvered and used the reflection. That shit is still one of the coolest things ever. Even though it gets
to win that fight, and you know it.
In any shape,
we gonna talk about it though. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
He did not deserve to win that.
We'll talk about it later. I know, but it was cool with me. But it's still like
no duplicate rain is a cool move.
The trial's a little broken, but you know what? We just gonna let it slide sometimes. Although that nigga really did not deserve to win that shit fight. But that's either here nor there. But yeah, it's like him as a character is really amazing. It's like Miles said, he went in depth. So let me go in depth with Gokudera though. Honestly, just really love this nigga entirely. Storm Guardian, one of the best Guardians. But the real reason he really got his boost up is because Reborn called. I love it when characters get called on this shit, like how Lametsu called Suna out later on. But I love when characters that really be on that shit get called out for the hypocrisy, right? So they was talking when like fucking Yamamoto told that nigga, bro. If you supposed to be right hand gathering everybody and making sure everything right, so Suna doesn't have that pressure on his back, why the fuck are you always being a dickhead to everybody else and never getting along with anybody else? How can we all rile up and rally behind you and then go support Suna and ease up the pressure on his mind if you always up his ass and you don't want to fuck with anybody else but him? And he really had to get his reins on right. But it's like Pat said, he's always good with the other Guardians too when he just fucking chills out for 2 seconds. Like that move they used against Gamma. The shit they were doing the Varia arc, like, all right, look, listen, we got a plan together. When he went, one of the coolest moments when he went to say he Vari, and he was like getting backed up and beaten. He was like, don't worry, this is what I'm playing the whole time. He was like, you missed the dynamite. He's like, no, I didn't. And the fucking shit came down. He was like, and he was like, should I bite these two little animals to death? I was like, yeah, let's go, nigga. He's getting along with fucking and the way him and fucking Ryohei always fighting, talking about long head and octopus head. And he always fighting with Lambo. But when the time comes, he brings the Guardians together like he should, and he's doing his responsibility as a second. And like I said, that Shitopi-chan shit, that when she was roasting that nigga Suna, and Suna was just in the back, he was like, oh. And then I was really waiting. I was like, you know what? It's been so long since I had read it, like fucking damn near 10 years ago, right?
He said, is that all? Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you finished or are you done?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't remember this part. I'm like, I remember the fight, but I don't remember like this conversation. So I'm like, what is he going to actually say? I'm very curious. And he's like, okay, nigga. And the fuck? He like, you talking like I don't know this shit, nigga. He's like, that's not why I respect that nigga. And he just went off. I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, yo, I got this move, that move, that move. And the shit he was doing with Gamma, them niggas boxed like what, 2-3 times? Them niggas was really had like a little. It's really cool because he had like a rivalry that nigga. They was like really going at it. And when
that fight with Gokudera and Gamma when they was in the Maloney base, that's a top 5 fight for me.
Yeah, bro. Oh god, bro. They was really going at it with these niggas. Like I like Ayo, and it was like convictions. He was like, well, what do you know about resolve? He like, nigga, I got resolve. Resolve too, nigga. Like they was just going back and forth. Like
that man said, "You think your conviction is stronger than mine?" He was like, "You just a brat. I'm a grown ass man. I've seen things." Gokudera was like, "I don't want to hear none of that shit. My loyalty to Suna is second behind no one."
Exactly. They just there's always that clash of ideals that really that's what it was. Like that clash of ideals really sent him back over the top and like really mastering with Yamamoto. But like talk about all the Gokudera just really about had to be top one. Storm there. So now it's Judame's turn. Now it's Judame's turn, the greatest.
I'm loving this Gokudera respect. It's making my day.
Everybody, thanks for having me. My name's Simi.
Go Judame!
Yeah, so it's Gokudera gang. Easily.
Woo! Let's go!
I'm getting praise, y'all!
It didn't change. My original run through the series, I pretty much only had eyes for Asuna, but now Gokudera was easy the character that stood out to me the most even back then, and now it doesn't change. Gokudera has the best character moments in the entire series. Nobody comes close. All of his fights that progress his character hit. Period. Versus Belphegor having to learn to fight for others and not selfishly for yourself. Versus Gammon learning what true determination is, learning that your words and your feelings are two different things. Versus Shitopi-chan and taking in both the negative and the positive. That's something that he already knew, but that was the first time we saw it on the screen and whatnot, right? So he has the best character. He has the best character moments out of anybody in the entire series, and it's not even close. And then not only that, but his backstory, his character development with his sister Bianchi, right? So it's everything about him is just pretty much a perfection. But forget all that. He fight with dynamite. Nigga, that's raw. Like, I don't know why and nobody's talking about that. Like, that's so fucking unique. He just got dynamite on his waist and he throw it at you.
The wave.
He put rockets on it to make it fly at you. Like, that's so gas. Like, why is nobody talking about that? That is one of the most rawest things I've ever seen in my entire life and still is in Shonen Jump to this day.
And then when that nigga went to the future, he pulled up with the rocket cannon blood.
Now he got a gun arm. Like, and not only that, but his fashion sense is so raw. Anybody knows me, you know that I absolutely love punk rock, alternative shit, even diving someone into death metal. I absolutely love all of it. He got the chains, the belts, the pockets. Like, he's just so gas.
The skull and the cigarette.
Man, so funny. Like, he see a skull or he see a crossbones. He like, yo, this shit gas. This shit's so cool. I'm like, yeah, it sure is. Like, he's just raw. He got the swag, he got the gimmick, and he got the fights. Nobody's coming close to that. None of the other guys coming close. Like, it's just so. Amano really put her all and then some into his character, and it shows.
So what the fuck happened to Ryohei?
Man.
The joke that we used to always make is that she based Ryohei off some like ex-boyfriend she like didn't like.
And that sounds so plausible.
Because I like no Kizzy, right? I don't dislike Ryohei. Gokugan to the extreme, go crazy. You just run around yelling that shit out. I used to. And while I think he has one of the best fights in the series and not the best one-on-one, I always thought that his character was disrespected. Like if I ask you the same question, I think he's the worst Guardian, honestly.
And it's not even that his character is bad. It's because that she just didn't put no respect on him.
Yeah.
Like, cause his training during the Varia arc was probably one of the best.
It was interesting
moments in the entire. Actually, one of the best moments in the entire series. Period, because it teaches you, the viewer, a very important thing. That rest is important. That is a life lesson, right? That everybody needs to know, and that's applicable to many things outside of like literal physical training. So to get that, and then have him instantly knocked out of the Archibeleno race in the last arc, Curse of Archibeleno arc, and shit like that, where he's not, and then have him do nothing, have his younger self literally pretty much get injured off rip once he got to the future arc. It's like she just disrespected him in every single chance that she got. And I felt like that was so like that. When you look up the definition of character assassination, look no further, man.
Right, and his moment in the Simon family arc, one of my favorite ever. Because when them niggas like lost, and he was like, and Suna was trying to go crazy. He's like, "Listen, nigga, respect our pride, respect what we did." And they was really boxing. They was like, "Who gonna fall first?" And when they like both fell, it was like, "Nah, nigga, don't disrespect our honor, bro. Don't disrespect our pride. We sacrifice ourselves for you, nigga. Keep moving." Yeah, bro, this is a real nigga, bro. That nothing hit like a 1v1. Niggas put everything on the line. But then like I really remember like him. I remember him getting a hold in the Aquablane, the Curse arc, and I was like the Rainbow arc, and I was like, damn, they really like hold this nigga like
that shit pissed me off.
Like when that happened, when he bars like anyways. I said she doesn't no respect.
And I was like, it's cool being a healing nigga, but that was just like, if that was just your role the entire time, or that was just like, okay, my ability is just to heal. You a fucking boxer. You doing this and putting this nigga on back support for healing people in an arc where niggas are going team battles, 1v1s, we teaming up with enemies, 2v1s, 5v6, like, and you just hold this nigga like that? Nah, bro, that disrespect.
Like, it's not lost. Like, it wasn't lost on me why she eliminated him immediately, because she needed a freaking safety net for their strategy once things that, oh, well, you know, the true enemy is this shit, right? But still, it was just complete character assassination, and it pissed me when Hibari fucking broke that man's fucking wristwatch. That shit pissed me off so fucking bad.
I literally just were like, okay, he's out.
I am of a softer opinion. As the chat probably knows by now, I have a soft spot for older brothers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think his role in the series is more to be the kind that Suna can look at and feel calm, even more so than Yamamoto, because Yamamoto is his peer, right? But Ryohei is actually a year older than the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Hibari also a year older?
Yeah, they're both seniors.
Yeah.
Oh, he is? I didn't even realize.
Yeah, they're both older.
It's Hibari-san, I think.
Even though Hibari looked the youngest out of all of them, yeah, those two are the seniors.
I think that's why I didn't realize it. He actually looks his age. But the moment that Simi is referring to, I kind of looked at it as like a callback to the future arc, because you know, like in the future arc, Ryohei and Hibari were the only ones whose future selves stayed for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time they would have a serious conversation, it would devolve into Ryohei challenging Hibari, and Hibari would be like, "Bro, I'm not gonna fight you. Like, you're not worth my time, bro. I'm not gonna fight you." So I kind of looked at it like that. Okay. So it didn't really bother me that much. And plus, there are moments where he always gives Suna some reassurance. Like during the Varya arc, his fight was the first one, and when he won, it kind of gave them like that confidence, like, yo, we can win. We can actually do this. Like, you know, they won the first Guardian battle. I don't think they were really expecting that.
Lusuria's stupid ass metal knee.
But listen, they fought in the rain, yo. Just think about your. Don't think about the freaking burger with just a with a freaking knee pad on his. That's his whole power. He got knee pads on,
bro. Man, I'm joining the Varya right now. Metal elbow. What's up? What are we doing? Sorry, keep going.
But also during the future arc, like right before the fight with Gamma, he actually showed Goku Dara like a more what's the word I want to use? He showed him the means of using a box weapon more efficiently when he brought out Kangaroo right before. I mean, unfortunately, he lost, but like once Goku Dara got the swing of things, he was like, okay, Kangaroo gave him the support for Uri, and Uri turned into an adult, and I was like, okay, I see now. His role is always going to be support. Like, yeah, he's a boxer, so he shouldn't really be that. So it's kind of a contradiction, but I still don't really have a problem with it.
Again, because we all said this, we don't think he's a bad character, but it actually reminds me of my issue with Rack. Because how does Rack see himself? I'm not gonna go into great detail. Hunter, Turtle, My Parade. He's a combatant, and he don't fight. And when he do, he loses. It's just like
that's like that's
my issue. That's my issue.
I wouldn't have an issue if he was like real support, but it's like you put him as a frontline boxer. Like, I'm not finna see no boxer as a healer, but you made it work a couple times, but then like you can just think like one of the most crazy.
I think there's no real payoff for Colonello telling him to like relax his body, because remember Colonello stabs him with his gun and he goes like, he looks at Reborn like he's weak. He's the weakest one, and he smiles. I'm like, oh, he about to be nice, and he never was. He never was nice.
Maximum Cannon goes stupid. That's why he got one of the craziest offensive abilities of fucking Mega Cannon.
But I still think his fight with Aoba is fucking incredible. I don't,
bro. I'm like, nah. That's why I was like, bro. Like in the end of that fight was so fucking insane.
Yeah, they got their respect.
One of my favorite fights ever.
Yeah. It's up there.
real quick, while we on Rio, hey, one of my favorite moments is after they tell like the girls basically drag him into there, and they Rio
And
he
then he
slugged the
punched
stuff
that nigga
fuck
Suna.
out of Suda. He was like, so everybody's good, right? He's like, yeah. He was like, and he was like, that's fucking bringing my sister into the show. I was like, yo. They hold that Goku Dare back and shit like that and fucking Ryohei, and he's just like,
we gonna
man.
talk about that when we get to the future arc, by the way.
Yeah.
Amano Sensei not off the hook for that shit.
Are we going to talk about like? Can I bring up two good Lambo moments real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty sure nobody got Lambo at like anywhere near, probably at the bottom, right? But
Pat doesn't like Lambo because he's a brat.
No,
like Lambo.
He doesn't like
I don't
Lambo.
like Lambo.
Yeah,
Lambo's my second, I guess, least favorite Guardian technically, but I actually like Lambo gives me a genuine good laugh every once in a while, so I don't mind it.
Every now and then he'll make me chuckle, but for the most part,
yeah. So
I love Lambo, but he's probably my least favorite.
Yeah, so two great moments. Well, of course, obviously, I'm pretty sure everybody fucked with the 20 years later Lambo.
Of course,
when he was doing his shit. Yeah, but what really good moment in the Inheritance arc is when 10 year later Lambo was talking to Suna. He was like, he's just a kid. You can't keep doing this, Reborn. He just said another thing. He's like told him just like shut up. He was like, nah, it's okay. He was like, Suna Nissan. He was like, yo, listen. When I was going on these adventures with y'all all this time, I was looking up to y'all. I wanted to be so cool like y'all, this and other. I really admired how y'all was moving, this and other. And then they're like the frame they had of everybody looking like Lambo's view of everybody like towering up and had Suna and like all the Guardians looking cool. Is like all those fun adventures, all those fun times. I couldn't wait to go. Which I couldn't wait till we all went on the next one. So it's like, but since that's I want you to have faith in me. I want to show you that you could take me with you. It's okay. And then he proceeded to do his shit and moved the mountain. I was like, yeah, this was a fucking fire ass moment for me.
I'm gonna piggyback. I was gonna save that for later, but cause I remember me and Pat were having this conversation. I think me and you had a little bit similar. Thank you for the follow. Where it was like we were trying to find out like the real true justification for carrying around like a literal like 5-year-old everywhere we went, because it didn't really like kind of make sense. 6-year-old, maybe 6 I was older years, but like it didn't make sense. It's kind of stupid or whatever. And like remember the two reasonings I came up with for basically why it's possible that she justified it, and one was he's gonna be raw in 20 years, right? So obviously against Levy, you see 20 years later Lambo, and he's that dude. And the second one is the moment that East just brought up, where it's like he's talking about his memories kind of growing up with around everybody are very precious to him, so don't ever leave him behind. That's the wrong answer. Young Bonga, like, take me everywhere kind of thing. So that's kind of that's like I'm like maybe I'm rationalizing, but that's why like I have no problem with it. But even though like I'm like, bro, stop bringing this child with you, bro.
It was always like, but it's always like it was it's halfway Reborn's fault and halfway Lambo's fault, because that nigga would just get dragged in and soon be like, bro, you can't take this kid over here. What y'all doing? And he just kind of get dragged in because he was already a guardian for like, bro. Like it was like sometimes he just had no choice because it was like, all right, he the guardian. He bringing his ass in here, bro. Fuck what you saying, type beat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but real quick,
it's not rational.
Go ahead.
It's not rationalization. It's not rationalization. It's a poor part on Amano's end. That's all. That's what was supposed to happen, but you only got 2 instances of it out of 400 chapters. Her fault, not ours. That was literally supposed to be the idea, the point, right? Suna chose his guardians. Suna has a problem with it, and he only has himself to blame. He chose his guardians. Even if it might have been consciously or subconsciously, but he chose his guardians. He chose Lambo to be one of his guardians. So he has no choice but to take his guardians with him, no matter their fucking age or gender. That being said, again, we only got 2 moments of the entire point of this. So we got cheated. That's all.
Okay. Do you want to chime in, Pat, at all? I know you don't like him or you don't care enough to talk about it.
When we get to discussing the arcs, I will go more in depth. Right now, we're kind of
okay. Because I just wanted to ask you guys real quick who your favorite Alco Bareno was, because mine was actually Colonello on most of my reads. I just like him. I just like him. Honestly, on this reread, it's Reborn. Reborn is my favorite one, actually. Reborn is my favorite Alco Bareno. I like Reborn the most. In terms of ones that I just kind of like without knowing too much about them, I like smart niggas, so Verde's my nigga. But yeah, who's your favorite Alco Bareno?
Mine is Reborn, and it's not close.
Okay.
it's a complete wash. Fawn is like a second, but it's like a pretty like far second. But like I've told you this, Naya. I think Reborn is the best mentor in all of manga. Genuinely, I don't think there's a better mentor. I think his relationship with Suna is
they have
phenomenally
one of the
good.
best master-student relationships that I've seen and I actually think it's really dope and cool because it actually becomes a point of emphasis, especially in the last arc. Because Bermuda's like, I don't give a fuck about none of these niggas. Like, Suna, you cool, like Johto, whatever. But that that guy, Reborn, he's the one. Like, I actually love how even like Jagger's like, oh, so like Wongala is like, no. You're not even seeing, bro. You're not even taking it in. He just said two things to Chrome, and now she's raw. You're not taking this in, bro. I need him. He's the one.
No, that's what I'm saying. When he used the present, everybody's like, ah, shit, he's out. He's like, who's that? Chaos.
I was literally in my bed hollering. Bro, I'm like, boy, that's one of the rawest moments ever. But it's Reborn season. He's also he's my favorite character in the entire series, by the way.
Okay. Reborn's outfits go crazy, by the way. His disguises, I love them.
Fire.
And his minions for each season with his bugs. Steve-O.
Yeah, my favorite Archibaldino has to be Reborn, and I think mainly it's just because he's really the one that we see the most, and it's not really even close in terms of screen time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel like every time he's on screen, he does something to make me enjoy his presence even more.
Fair.
So, but a close second would probably be Fawn or maybe even Colonello. And another reason why I enjoy Reborn so much was because of his fight with the Mitsu. Like, I just thought that moment was just so fire.
That's the best fight in the series, by the way.
That nigga
so fire. I might agree with that.
He shot it to the ground. You missed.
Nigga.
Guess again.
Oh my shit. God.
And then when Chaozu turned into chaos, nigga, like I lost my shit, bro. Like that was nasty.
It's the line that resonates with me when he's like, no good Suna is like is a legend in the neighborhood, but more so than that, he said when he pulls him by his hair, and he said, a cheap pride was born within you when your dad left. And when he goes in and tells him about his entire self and how he sees his own father, I said, damn, he's spitting. And he's like, you forgot what true dying will is, to have every cell in your body. And I think that actually kind of leads into like the form, not the form, but the state that he was in at the very end of the series against Bermuda when Bermuda discovered the flame of the night. But I think that was a bit of a precursor to that. But honestly, one of my favorite moments of Reborn and Suna, even though Suna didn't recognize it was him, but there's a lot of good ones that happened long before that. But I think the ones in this arc particularly hit me because when the Vindice kind of are properly introduced, I actually kind of somewhat believe him when he's like, I don't know, maybe not with these guys. You're still strong, you're doing your thing, you're 14, and I really think to some degree he was serious about that until he saw what Suna was able to do when he grabbed everybody and everything.
Yeah. I roll. You don't get there though.
So I guess I'll go. Just like everybody else, I got Reborn as my top. Fong was kind of like up there tied with me, but like it's kind of so. But our top is Reborn, and it's like Fong and Colonelino. They tied for two because I love like Colonelino's like fucking this entire thing has a Spartan gimmick dynamic and it's fucking mega rifle cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always like martial arts too, with Fong and shit. That nigga was talking shit. So he was like, yo, I can move at the speed. Like atoms or proton, some shit like that. It was like, oh, he a sore loser. He was like, nah, nigga, I just had to get readjusted. But the moment still. But one thing I feel like I really wanted to see more in the final. I really wanted to see the rainbow, the Acroboleno go stupid like in their full form. Like 3 minutes wasn't enough. And I really wanted to see more of them niggas like really clash because they're strong. Yeah, she really teased it because I'm like, bro, I want to see these niggas really like the strongest niggas ever. Like, if they're even stronger, like if they're at the end of the top of the food chain of the series, they really got the real. I want to see what they can really fucking do. And when that nigga phone was like, he popped out that shit. He was like paralysis, this fucking monster. He was like, He bust through this. She was like, I told you about the mind and the spirit and the body. He's like, I train with this type of shit in my mind all the time. She's like, what the fuck? What you been training with? He was like, yeah, nigga, I'm that nigga. This is cool, but I was like, yeah, I wanted to see these niggas actually box, like more of them actually fight. We really got teased with that, not too lightly, but Reborn at the top of the food chain. Cause like you said, the way he was like, bro, just the way he came in and shot and then say as soon as ass, it was like, yo, that boat about to kill him. And he was like, as I came, yes. And then I was like, bro, this nigga drip is immaculate. He on full Hitman mode. My John, shout out to John Wick. He on full Hitman
Shout
mode.
out
I'm
to
like,
John Wick.
yo, that's that time, yeah. But listen, no, Kizzy, bro, like, bro, telling you, bro, this nigga so raw with it, bro. Every time, like, bro, the nigga always smooth with it, bro. Even in the flashbacks, he would put the keys down. He looking at his clipboard. He put around. Yo,
Who's
who
there?
are you?
He said, who's there? Who's there?
Who sent you? I'm like, oh. But I'm really upset about. I know you're gonna carry this part later, and I know we'll touch it later. I'm really upset. I didn't have time to revisit the anime only arcs because I remember a lot of scenes like where they had saved Uni and other like downtimes with the Aquaballoon. I'm really upset that wasn't in the manga, but apparently she put that in there. But I really would like to see that more. But let's need to hear it there.
It's canon filler.
Yeah,
it's canon filler.
It's the same thing Bleach does.
We'll talk about it, or think if and anyone else who like think like the events of Strong World not happening, but Shiki being a real character. It's something along that line.
Simi said, "Family." That means he's serious about something.
Mm-hmm.
Family, why the fuck do y'all like Fawn so much? He wasn't there.
Oh no, my favorite three are Reborn, Colonello, and Mammon. Then I put Fawn. Fawn has a really like small but dope showcase, and you just kind of know how strong he is. But Hibari
cool,
face
but that's
stuff
not
not really
moving
moving me. Like I just like Hibari. I don't really care for the first Guardian and Fawn like that. I think Fawn is. I just think Fawn's strong. Well, I'll talk about him more later. But he didn't. Mammon always kind of was like wishy-washy with it. So as soon as he used that and Fawn kicked through one of Ouroboros and he started panicking, it's not to like downplay Fawn, but Viper is that kind of character. Like I don't have faith in him like that. I just think that illusions are cool.
Mukuro out.
Mukuro's will out illusion him any day on his best day. So
I mean.
We'll talk.
No. I know you think you have a point. You don't, but we'll go.
Let me talk.
Hibari not moving me either, but it's like, bro, Fawn was not here in the story. Why do y'all like him so much? He was not here. He was here for like what, a total of maybe 15 chapters or so.
But he fight
not
good.
until the final arc.
He fight good, and he got out of illusion because his mind clear. And
okay, so hold on, Judah, man. So we just gonna exclude how he was boxing with Zanzis and Squallow, and the fucking Viper couldn't even follow. He was like, "Damn, nigga, I can't see these niggas. What they moving at? They moving at neon speeds. Like, bro, I can't see what the fuck going on. Like, these niggas were
that shit was so raw.
I'm not saying it wasn't raw because it absolutely was. Hibari solo and Navaria absolutely pissed me off. By the way,
he didn't. It was Vaughn that did it.
That I'm not saying that what this little that Fawn did wasn't raw. That's not my argument. My point is, why do y'all care so much for a character that wasn't there? 409 chapters, and he was there for like 15 of them. And like the first 3, he was like,
it's about quality versus quantity.
I can say a few things. One, to be fair to me, most of the Akabareno weren't really in the series.
And that's why I think this question is kind of redundant because we don't see them do nothing besides Reborn and Colonello.
Yeah, I would even say not even Colonello. I for me personally, outside of the fighting, this goes to me because when I started with the anime, and in the anime we have the 2 arcs that I think are really important for the series, which is one which goes into Primo's groups, and when they did those tests, and then we had the Akabareno test. Yeah, and I know it's an episode for Fawn and stuff. I just like Fawn because he's so different from the other Alcabareno, which are like these like very prideful, arrogant, like group of like powerful individuals, and I appreciate the difference of his calm, more master-like demeanor. I just appreciate that more. So I think that contrast for me is why it also makes me like him more than the others by a lot. But again, that's why I said
he fake non-bolsterous though, because we saw him talking shit. And he talks shit to Viper all the time. He
Yeah, but Viper is-
he just
Viper
comes
is-
he just comes with that
I don't know.
martial arts. Put my fucking hands in my
He's got
like,
Khalid type beat.
that's not tricking
was
me,
that-
bro. He confident as fuck over there. He arrogant.
Was that talking shit if he's like, don't do this, you'll lose, and it's fact of the matter that he will.
No, but Viper's like, bro, you used to always tell me, oh, you're losing. Oh, go outside, touch grass, sniff the dirt. Like he do.
He can't do all that.
You're not even talking.
Because
I don't even disagree.
Naya.
I don't disagree with
Naya.
Spawn. I don't know if I agree with the assessment that he's not like them. That's what I'm
Naya,
saying.
but this one,
I think Skull is the one that maybe not is less like them because he a bitch.
I have no idea what
Hey, don't do my boy
Skull's
like
purpose
that.
even is.
Hmm?
He pissed me off. I have
Hey,
no
my boy-
idea what
hey,
Skull's purpose
Hey, my
even
boy
is.
Immortal.
He don't die or
get more.
whatever. He's stuntman.
And oh my, I cannot wait till we get to the problem section, boy. I
But-
got some- yeah.
But see, look, this is funny. It's funny that Simi like that because it's funny because Simi kind of remind me like like Viper, I care about money and bitches and shit like that. And then like that nigga found like you shouldn't spend your money on that. You should go do this. You should go do that. And then Simi the type of nigga like, son, get the fuck out my face. Why is you talking to me? So it's just like I kind of remind me that dynamic like Simi, you should really spend your money on this and quality time, this, that, and other. Right, son, shut the fuck up. Stop talking to me type beat. That's what that shit cut.
That fucking wushu ass shit. Man.
Yeah, see, that's why that shit funny to me. But I mean, Colonello. But this is the thing though. Why has nobody? If we gonna talk about this, why has nobody said Uni? She got a whole fucking arc, giant ass arc, in the future arc where she's definitely pivotal as shit and has great ass moments, especially her final shit. Especially with her moment.
Here's what I'll say, and then I want to just give me the favorite 3 characters quick, and because we've been on this for a while, longer than I thought we'd be. But Uni being afraid of death as a child was like a good moment. I like the Gamma stuff. That was really dope and that was cool. But when she comes back into in the present time, she's not.
It ruins a character.
Yeah, she's not.
It ruins a character greatly.
Yeah, it's not moving me, and I think I wanted to say something earlier when someone said something about like we haven't really seen any of the Alco Moreno, but I'd argue that the moments we got are a little more plentiful, or I know more about them. The reason I like Colonello second so much, even though we technically don't see him much, is he entertained me. He's funny, and if he's one, we see him before Skull, right? If I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's the other one that we see,
believe
right?
so.
And he's raw. And secondly, it's because of his relationship with Lal. What he did, he literally wasn't supposed to be one of the chosen 7, and he basically like goes to save her so she doesn't become fully cursed. And their relationship, I actually like. It's as I say, she did a good job, and I'm like, oh man, I care about their love. But that was like, that was moving me enough that I was like, yo, I like him. Like he still has some like extra substance, if you will, that I can lean on. So that's why I like Colonello second most. Mad Mom because I'm a Vario stan, just to keep it simple. I'll be standing the Vario. So
And he was going to remove the course for her.
Even though they top heavy. They carried by 2 niggas, but in half. 2.5.
3.
Nah, I can't give it to Viper. I could give him half points.
What about Flan? What about
Flan I associate more with Mukuro's group, not the
Dog.
Varia, because
What does Fran do to this day? I don't even know what his power is.
He's just funny.
He just talks shit. He wear big thing on his head. What is his power?
He get Mukura.
He's a good illusionist. That's what it is. That's all it is.
He's a good illusionist.
You didn't see that Fusion Crow move?
Oh my god!
Pro
Every
better.
time it's just Mukuro, just like, yo, I need a friend to support my shit. No.
But even he's like, what's wrong with me? Did I become so reliant on this nigga so fast? Am I a waste you? He questioned himself. The Crow King.
He's a good misbatter, if you will.
No,
sometimes that's all you need.
But anyways,
Say Skull, the underdog, Skull mid. All right.
Wait, I didn't go.
Oh, he didn't? Oh shit, my bad.
Y'all niggas just over here arguing about phone all damn day.
You see the damn Chinese? Damn, that's crazy.
That's the best country in the world.
Didn't y'all call it the best country?
That's the best country. Shout out. Go ahead, Pat.
So Naya actually stole my top 3. I like Reborn a lot. Mostly
are we doing our top
funny.
3?
I mean, not really, but I just wanted to give it a top 3. These are the ones that I like the most. So I like Reborn a lot because he's fucking hilarious. Like, when he was having that dream about when he became an Arco Boleno, and as soon as was trying to wake him up and he woke up, he put the blammer in his face around. So it's like, don't shoot. He's like, damn, I had an unpleasant dream. I'm like, nigga, when you have nightmares, you wake up with a Glock. Like,
That lifestyle for real.
but nah, I just like Miles said, he's one of the best mentors. Like, he's just a great character all around. I really enjoy Reborn every time he's on screen. Number 2 is Colonello, because I told Naya this before, but like the first time I was watching Reborn, I didn't fully understand like Japanese culture and stuff like that. Now I'm a little bit more well versed, so I pick up on these things. But like when he kept saying "Kura," I was like, "Why is he doing that?" I kid you not, I really thought he had Tourette's. Like it just kept saying "Kura" after every single sentence. I was like, "What is going on?" But I like that he's whatchamacallit, he's really a stand-up guy. The fact that he's like the greatest sniper in the world is fucking raw. That shit that he put up with in the Rainbow Arc was fucking cool as fuck. I never seen a rifle like that.
That machine he brought out was crazy. What the machine?
But we should believe that Lao Michi better than him, right? Get the fuck
out.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I believe it. I believe it for sure.
I don't actually. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, I can't believe that.
She didn't prove herself. Well, go ahead, Pat.
Nah, that showcase that she put up during the Future Arc was not moving me at all.
That's not fair. We gotta be
6 points a game, bro. I'm not moved by that.
We gotta be honest about her circumstances. We gotta be honest about her circumstances. To be honest, let's be fair.
She went 3 for 26. That's not moving me.
She was.
Like I said, I like that he's a stand-up guy. You know, he tried to take the curse for Lao Mirch instead. Obviously kind of failed a little bit, but you know, the intent was there. I appreciate the sentiments and stuff like that. At the Rainbow Arc, when he wanted to undo her curse instead of his, again, made me like his character even more. And I like Mamin because I kind of feel bad for her or he. They never specify, right?
It's a guy.
Yeah.
It's a guy?
Yeah, it's a guy.
Viper kind of reminds me of Castor from Fate, but
a lot.
Yeah, I feel bad for his circumstance because, like, he was the first one to jump at the chance to undo the curse. Like, I never wanted to do this. And, like, bro, I feel it, man. Like, I just want to make money. I want to relax. I just want to enjoy life. I don't want to be a fucking baby. Like, bro, I just couldn't help but feel bad. And then, like, when she was, I keep thinking of Cassie. That's why I keep saying she. But when he came to Xanthus, it was like, you want to do me a favor? And then he was like, is this about the Arcobaleno? She was like, oh,
this man.
I was expecting. He's not an ordinary man.
Right? He's different. He says concerning the rainbow, right? As you putting his shirt on, look at the nigga so cold. Look at him in the left. Look at him.
Viper just be killing me, bro, because it's like, when the fight was started, like Xanthus slept the whole first round, and he over there questioning like, "Yo, boss, I could really count on you, right?
You're gonna come through for me, right? Yeah.
You're gonna come through for me."
He made sure he fed that nigga mochi so that nigga's throat was sore. He like, we got some mochi. He was like, come out here, boss. We can get you some.
And then, like at the end, when like Xanthus and Hibari fighting, and then the fight ended. And he probably was like, I don't accept this. And he broke his watch.
Yeah.
And that's just like, me too. And then
they all tackled him. They're like, no.
He's like, what? You gonna do what? They killed me, bro.
Move, you pieces of shit. Move, you pieces of shit. You want to tell me what to do? That nigga talking shit.
That was one of the funniest moments of the whole series where I was screaming laughing.
Straight April.
Then that nigga Fall was like, well then, and then Hibari turns around. You got in my fucking way again, talking to Dino and shit. I'm gonna teach your ass. And
that shit's so funny because he's like, he's like he thinks he's a mentor of mine. I have no need for such a being, such an existence. He said, I don't need it. I don't like him.
Right, that nigga Hibari and Dino have one of the funniest things. And then the way Dino just learns how to like operate with Hibari. And like get him to do shit without like in his own way, because like this nigga not gonna listen, so you have to persuade him in another type of way.
All right,
those are my favorite Arcobalanos.
Yeah, try to keep this as brief as you can, but give me your favorite 3 characters in Reborn, just in general.
Listen, I got my freaking top 5. We're written. So
Okay,
number 1 is
top
Reborn. Number 1 is Reborn. Number 2 is Gokudera. Number 3 is Mukuro and Chrome. Yes, I love Chrome. You know that. Number 4 is Tsuneyoshi Sawada, and number 5 is Gamma.
Okay.
That was so fast.
Respect.
Okay. Sibo.
Respect.
This is 5 favorite characters.
You can go ahead. You can give 5. Yeah, I can 5, 3, whatever. Go ahead.
All right. Suna, Himitsu, Reborn, Hibari.
Hibari.
Damn.
Hibari with the pompadour is going crazy, by the way.
Just there.
I hate that I have to think about this.
You come back.
I'm gonna go ahead
a lot
and
of
say
good
Goku
characters. Let's go.
Goku. That'll be my 5. And Suna's number 1, by the way.
Okay, I'll go next. You all know what Zans is. You all know what Zans is. He's the GOAT.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Take Gokudera out. Xansis. That's my 5.
You failed the test, Sibo.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He got an A+. Xansis is the GOAT. He's my favorite. He never really wasn't. Well, I can't say that. Once he was introduced and kind of established, I'm like, yeah, this guy's the one. So, and it never ever changed. So Xansis is my favorite. Second favorite character is Mukuro. Third favorite character is Reborn. Fourth favorite character is. Do I care if I put them in a different order? Fourth favorite character, I'll put Hibari 5th, and then at 4th I'm gonna put probably Gamma. Honestly, Gamma is actually I think one of the best characters.
Hey, that's 2 points to Gamma. Let's go.
Gamma is out here, bro. Go ahead, Miles.
Number 1, Suna, best character, no debate.
Look at my son. Oh my god.
Reborn.
Oh yeah, y'all gonna hate me today. Y'all gonna hate
3 and 4, Gokudera and Yamato, they're tied, so 3 and 4, whatever. 5 is tough because I kind of want to say Xanxus, but I also kind of want to say Mukuro. But I think I'm gonna go with Mukuro just because Mukuro, I think I enjoyed him a little bit more in this recent reread.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pineapple season.
And I like adult Xanxus a lot more than younger Xanxus, so like
that's a fact. He's a better character.
Me and Pat have had a conversation too. We'll talk about it. I agree with that though. Any version of him's raw though. East.
Very true.
On my top 1, I got Reborn. At 2, I'll go with Gokudera. I'll go with Gokudera and Yamato tied for 2 because they're both my favorite Guardians. At 3, I'd probably go ahead and give it to.
Don't be a coward.
Gamma.
Differentiate. Who is 2?
All right. If we had to. Give him it. All right.
Let's go.
But 3, I go ahead and give it to Gamma. And then 4, I hit it with Mukuro. And then 5, I'll top it off with Colonino. Yeah.
I'm happy with the Gamma. I'm happy with
because Gamma has some really great moments like throughout the entire arc. Like I said, like a top 3 fight for me when the future arc and just like all the shit, but we on the speed rush, so
that's a fact.
See?
All right, okay, I'll
do
it again since you can't remember. Number 1 is Reborn. Number 2, Gokudera. Number 3, okay.
My bad. All right. All right. Let's talk about what's next.
What the fuck? Why am I being forgotten today?
I'm sorry, Pat. I'm so sorry.
He put the wrong nigga.
Sorry, go ahead.
Damn, that's all them interjections. He's thinking I'm a background character. That's why.
Wow.
So, number 1, of course, is Gokudera, the best character, easily. Number 2,
he's the best Renegade Guardian.
Number 2 is actually very interesting because 2 and 3 flip for me. Because number 2 used to be Squallow, but now it's Xanxus.
Am I an idiot? Squallow over Gamma. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I totally forgot. But push out Hibari and put Gamma 5th. My fault. My fucking fault. I don't know what happened to my brain just now. Squallow is one of my favorites. Go ahead.
The reason 2 and 3 flip is because when I was younger, I didn't like the way Xanxus talked to his subordinates. But now, like, I'm older, I can understand characters a little bit more. I still don't like it, but his future version is what put him over Squallow for me.
Yeah, that nigga not talking to me like that.
Well, it always kills me because I'm like, Squallow is your only competent henchman. Why are you like this?
That's
You
what I'm
apologize
saying,
to
bro.
Abel.
The rest treat Levy like this. Treat Lucilia like this.
He did the most bullshit out of anybody.
Squallow is the one, bro. Mark, keep going.
Yeah, Xanthus 2, Squallow 3rd, Mukuro 4th, and number 5 is probably going to be Reborn.
Attacco di Squallow.
That nigga Squallow is such a
just
real.
so fucking raw.
Cool.
Nigga is a shark.
Yep.
Bro, when he fought that Magma nigga, when he fought that Magma nigga, he was like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here!" Yeah. When he fought that fucking fake ass dinosaur, that nigga was raw. He was like, "Y'all head out." He was like, "Oh, you must want to die first."
This is a great segue into the antagonists of Reborn and how we feel about them, good or bad.
Oh
Somewhere in the middle.
God.
Wait,
Yo.
I'm sorry. The guy in the comments, I just saw someone. He said Epin at number 2. That's kind of crazy.
Yo, shout out Ramen Man. You know the gas.
I don't think Epin is that crazy. Skull is the one that's blowing me.
Yo.
Skull?
Epin at 2 is.
I don't even think Skull looks cool, even with his punk and his little lip earring. I don't even think he looks raw. That's just me though.
Nah, no. Epin at number 2 is crazy. She can't even speak Japanese, bro.
Xenophobia?
Hey,
Wait, hold on. I said you gotta speak Japanese to be top 5. Xenophobia?
Maybe he was moved by the future version. I don't know, man.
Then he need to specify that, cause nigga, what?
I don't know. EP's not a. I don't know. It's fine though. It's fine. It's interesting. It's interesting. Skull's not moving me though. That's all I'm saying.
Skull is absolutely offensive.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys about some of the best and worst antagonists in Reborn, and that's crazy. We're starting with the funeral arrests and how fucking trash they are. The quote-unquote real funeral arrests. Sorry, the real funeral arrests.
The real ones are dog.
They're the only characters who I like their present-day versions more than their future versions. Their future versions are straight-up dog shit. There's only one good 6 real funeral wreath, and it's Katekyo. The rest of them fucking suck.
I don't even know what the fuck Bell Blue, whatever the fuck that bitch was.
Why he reverse it?
Blue Bell. I quite literally think Ghost is better than all of them. Because he served his purpose.
Nigga don't even talk. Nigga just walk.
He absorbed the flame and he gave it to Byakuran. Mission complete.
That was the most disappointing reveal.
No, it wasn't.
Byakuran, bro.
You really think so? Sorry.
Yes,
I think I saw it coming because of the mark on his eye. It didn't shock me when I learned about his parallel ability. But go ahead, go into it.
I think in the anime the mark wasn't there initially, so like it was harder for me to guess when I was younger. I could be misremembering that.
Dog. The 6 real funeral wreaths, Ungabungas, so garbage. Some of the most trash I have ever seen in my entire life. And of course, they're spearheaded by my least favorite antagonist in the entire series, Byakuran. I hate that guy. I hate that guy. I don't like him.
I like Byakuran.
I do not like him at all.
Fuck that nigga.
He's the most husbando bait design in the entire thing. He's hard carried by his power. Take away his power and that boy is nothing. He ain't got no presence. He come on here and he's smiling, he eat marshmallows. And
he's the only
wait, hold on. And he FaceTime Shuichi. And
he's the only nigga I've seen in manga use dragons and it's not raw. I was like, wow.
I actually
really
don't like Byakuran at all.
He said he just FaceTimes his henchman.
Yes.
That's crazy.
His best friend, quote unquote.
Byakuran is one of those characters, when someone doesn't like him, it makes complete sense to me. I just think I looked at it differently, so he doesn't bother me. But I do want to say this before I get into it. The best antagonist in the future arc was Gamma.
Yep.
And it's not close.
I agree.
It's not close. It's not that bum Phantom Knight Genshiki.
Oh, we don't like Genshiki.
I don't know what it was about him. I acknowledge that he's strong to the point that I actually think he's a better choice for the real mist user than the other Toki, whatever the fuck his name is. He sucks. He stinks.
Tori
He is ass.
That nigga didn't have no fight.
Ass booty cheeks to the extreme. Kokugen. He sucks.
He was awful.
I can't. Is he a mummy? Like what is? Anyways, he's trash. Byakuran, I understand he was using him, but Genkishi deserved to be the actual real misuser. So I want to give him credit.
And he had a hell ring. So
yeah, so very unserious there in my opinion. But he wasn't moving me though. I'll acknowledge him as a strong fighter that they have to overcome and blah blah whatever. But Gamma was moving me. I'm sorry, he was it. Byakuran, I think.
Why are you apologizing?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm saying. But Byakuran with me. I think I just understand like a man who's bored and just kind of wants to play with the world kind of thing. And I think because of my comic book background, when the whole multiverse and or many world interpretation theory was kind of interjection into the story, it just felt right at home with me. It wasn't jarring. It wasn't weird. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm like, that's sick because he can just share the information amongst himself across the entire parallel worlds. And this is before I got into JoJo, where I kind of had something similar with Funny Valentine, right? So I'm like, this is raw to me. And I actually kind of like the way he goes out because to me, it's like, it's cold. Because Suna just ex-burners him. And he's like, he's doing his little inner monologue. He's like, you don't agree, don't you? He's like, no, fucking Paris. I said, if Suna's looking at you like that, you gotta go. Because Suna was not moved by anything you were trying to say about. Don't you get it?
Yeah.
And he just eradicated him, burned him, and he was gone. And I'm like, honestly, that's a great send off. I love that.
He's Suna's only body too. That's the crazy part.
Didn't he? No, you're right. I think you're right. Because does Damon Spade count? He was like a spirit. I don't know if that counts.
Nah, Damon Spade don't really count because that was like a halfway spirit, and then he kind of like died on his own after the fact.
Yeah. And the guy he possessed was fine after, so.
True.
That was a moment in the series that really surprised me. Like, yo, you really actually killed this nigga.
Oh, because he was pissed off, dog. Like that Uni died. He was trying like, you see what you did? She was my ultimate device. He's like, shut the fuck up, nigga.
Nah, it's just surprising for me because characters of Suna's archetype don't normally kill. So the fact that he killed him was just like, I was like, oh wait, he actually got this nigga off the earth.
Like cold indifference too. Like it wasn't even like
I
have to do this. He just like died.
he didn't even have any inner monologue after the fact either. He was just like, it's finally over. Not like, oh, I killed him. Oh my god. Da, da, da. I was really surprised by that.
But I objection to one Yeti. The board gimmick does not work here. Why?
No.
Because giving me half of a chapter to explain his character, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. It's not enough. Nowhere near enough. How many series both you and me have seen from Japan, outside of Japan, that have done the theme of the curse of immortality is boredom way better than just one chapter of a guy like, once I found out I could get memories from different timelines, I saw it as a game. Like for 4 pages and that's it. It's not enough. Nowhere near enough. Why did we not get bits and pieces of that throughout the longest arc in the entire series? It's not moving me at all. 4 little pages of his backstory? Nope.
No, I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. I just want to hate him. He's not, again, it's Gamma over everyone in the future arc, but
yeah.
Honestly,
I was really happy when Zangs just shot old boy in the head. He's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's like, bro, shut up.
Like I do not care about your backstory.
That's my thing. That's my thing because you know how Suna is like what the knife said, and he's like, and everybody said like, "Yo, you're who we need. You're not trying to be like these ruthless killers and this and like you don't really want to be in the mafia world." But that's exactly why you need to be the boss because we need to revamp who we are. We need that heart like the first had type beat, right? And so, like, I never mind when a character like Suna don't really want to kill people. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a nigga to change who they are. Sometimes niggas need to die. But for, like, that's why you need to have niggas like this. That's like, all right, bro, Fuck that shit. Bow. I'm off of niggas. Like, you can be a whole good heart nigga, but we ain't about that life, nigga. We the execution squad. We need to bop,
Nah,
shoot a nigga.
the way he did it was so cold too. He put the blicky to the back of his dome and just boom.
Like it
I was
was
like,
those
whoa.
like all same page shit too. He was like, fuck up,
The
nigga.
best part about it is because freaking it was Kikyo, right?
Yeah.
Kikyo was talking nonsense. Kikyo was literally talking some shit that had me rolling my eyes any harder, and they would come out of my freaking skull. He talking about some well, we was kings of our own time. We was rulers from the places that Biakra and he was just like, yo, shut up, blow. And it was one of the rawest moments in the entire manga.
He's not the one. Come on, man. He's the one.
Bro, you
back in our worlds, we was kings.
Bro, you run your mouth like that before you take the L. You don't run your mouth like that after, because you ain't got no credibility, bro.
Exactly.
That shit is funny, bro.
I am the strongest. I am the mountain that's been unmoved. Then you lose the fight. I am the strongest. I'm like, nah, nigga, you just got moved. Shut your ass up. What the fuck? What you talking for?
We're lucky he's
So
tired. And plus, Lusuria was healing you. So blew his head clean off. Should have been a gang.
Yeah, right. That should piss me off. That I don't. Oh, I'm gonna heal him to keep. How, bro? His head from the.
You guys are assassins. Head, shut up. Like, what is this?
From the
You're
top
literally
of
the
his
assassination squad.
To his pectoral should have been clean off. There should be nothing to heal. You saw how big that blast was, boy. Oh wait, now I'm gonna heal him to keep it. Nah, I should have let his body rot.
So we talk about the villains, right? All together. Like,
yeah. You can talk about anybody. Also, open box carnage, whatever, was not moving me. Not
at all. Oh my god.
I'll wait until we finish roasting these things.
Box weapon vein in my hold. No, I don't want that. Just give me a bear, nigga. Like, I'll be fine.
I'll say this: when Daisy first used it, I was a little bit intrigued. I won't lie. I saw that shit. I was like, huh.
Daisy's not
the problem.
He just can't.
Daisy's not moving me. But the way he was utilizing it when he first showed up, I was very intrigued. I was like, wow, this is very interesting.
No, but I think that's fair. But he's fighting. He was gonna fight with Hibari, so I already knew what it was.
Yes, but he made Hibari work for it a little bit.
I don't even agree with
that. Did he?
I don't agree. He got his little jab in. He's like, if Tonfo's are useless, I don't need it.
Yeah.
And he packed it.
Yeah, I mean, he maybe made Dino work for it, but that's not saying much because Dino got shafted.
No, Dino lost.
Yeah.
He made all he made Hibari do was think just a slight bit. He was like, okay, it's not working. That's cool.
And
he changed.
I don't need it.
Handcuffs out, nigga.
It's not gonna work. I don't need it.
Can't be affordable. No, cause like it's so funny to me because like they got defeated too. Cause he's like, Byakuran. Dino comes with his ultimate, whatever, his fucking whip a move. He's like up on left, right, up down, left, right. I'm like, oh brother.
Yeah, that's what was moving me. I was like, wait, what?
Oh brother.
Oh yeah, I forgot because he has the future. Yeah.
Byakuran. But all I was thinking in my head is like Byakuran. I'm a Byakuran. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Dino, you swing that in the same combination every time. You have a variation, my nigga. That's crazy. He don't.
Reborn,
you couldn't remix that mid whip.
Reborn would be sick to his stomach. See that shit. Nah, Reborn would be sick to his stomach. Talking about, he'd be like, "Boy, what the fuck, boy? You know I taught you better than this. One move."
Leon gave you that whip, and this is what you're doing with it.
The same thing. He got sloppy.
But go ahead, East, or someone else if you want to. Actually, you were talking earlier, East. Give us another antagonist.
Oh man, honestly, the weakest is Byakuran. But other than that, straight across the board, even with bro, honestly, reading fucking Mukuro is so phenomenal, and especially in the way he keeps coming back. And it never is the detriment to his character. He's always more interesting every time he comes back and helps. It's always for his benefit though. It's never like, all right, we better get my sooner, roll your party sooner type B. It's like it's always in his interest, and the way he always comes in is always like it's always a variation of the way he comes in each arc. And I actually loves his character, and it's something about like when the power scaling goes up as the further you get on. I never once felt I always feel like okay, it's still balanced and he's still stronger or the strongest, and he just pulls out new shit. He's just so amazing. The Vengeance, I really fuck with them. The shit with bro, the VJ, but I really fuck with them. But like the way they was kind of moving at the end, you know, with like Jaeger was a real fucking threat. All right, that nigga can't. That's a real nigga. All right, like I don't know how we feel about Bermuda.
I don't even know if I would say that just because he literally needed Bermuda.
Oh, well, you know, but you know what? That should be like, it's like, let's say, like, you know, like, let's say you got, it's just like a car. You got, you know, you got to charge that bitch. It can be 5 as it want,
Yeah,
but you need to,
his compatibility is still really up there.
Yes, it was never a hindrance. And then by the time they figured out, he was right. It was like basically, bro, it's too late. But like, still, it's like he had to charge that he did a bunch of shit though. You know what I'm saying? It's not like on that white ass gimmick. You know what I'm saying? He's not like, oh, I used too much power. No, let me go back. He was smart with it at the very least that he didn't let them know. Born was peeping him. But that nigga, when he came in the fold, that nigga was with the shits, bro. Like he came in, he stabbed Squallow. He was cutting niggas in half. Like, bro, I'm not playing with you niggas. I'm that nigga. Like, I'm really
I'll
top
never
dog.
forget the week that Xandis lost his hands and knees is the same week that Derrick Rose got hurt the first time.
Damn,
really?
I got packed up. It might have been a week after, but I got like packed up that entire fucking month.
He was really a
that's crazy as hell.
Because obviously I told you we're having our competition, so Hibari and Mukuro were still doing a better showcase. I was like, dang, I lost.
Yeah, but nah, that nigga Jaeger was the trooper, and then like who was it after that? Then honestly, Damian Spade really was a really great attack. I don't know if anybody else feel like this. I'm a black sheep, what? But
Is you gonna list all of them?
I was just saying because. But I know
and they can take my answer.
Well, no, he just saying what. No, the question is just how do we feel about the antagonists in general?
Yeah, I was just saying like
picking one.
Nah, it's in general. I didn't think it was because I feel like we was going like arc by arc. I was just saying.
That's my fault. That's mine.
Yeah, I was just saying.
I wasn't I thought we were looking at favorite.
Oh no, he said in general.
I just asked you what you thought.
Right there,
right? I sent it. I sent it to everybody, man.
Thank you, Judah, man.
My fault. I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, but hey,
Naya, you the leader of the group, huh?
I sent it to everyone.
But yeah,
you added topics when I sent it to you. I have the screenshot right here.
You right?
Am I co-leader? Across the board, though, honestly, other than Byakurum, who I didn't really have a problem with, but the funeral rounds was weak as shit. All the antagonists and their subordinates, all top tier for me, honestly. I really vibe with it. I really vibe with everybody.
I like all of the antagonists besides Byakurum. So I think the antagonists in this series are actually really good. Mm-hmm. Even though Amano only did it twice, it was 2 times too many. I'm still not a fan of the whole, oh, this is one way, but oh, surprise, actually is somebody completely different. And now we were just being tricked. So now we all band up powers together to fight the real true evil. I'm really not a fan of that at all. Mm-hmm. So even though she only did it twice, it still irritated me. But regardless, I like all of the antagonists.
I have a question. Do we like Mukuro's gang? Like, do we like Ken and them?
Yeah,
they were cool at the time when they were here.
Ken and Chiksa they carry it. Everybody else is straight burgers.
I like
this nigga named Birds. Come on, dog. And the bitch with the clarinet got packed up by Bianchi. Yeah, no. I don't even know why Amano trying to make her like a staple. She's whack.
Nah, the fake Mukuro was hitting though. I ain't gonna hold you. I forgot his name for a sec, but
Lancia.
Yeah. That nigga, that giant ass fucking wrecking ball with spikes on that shit was raw.
His ring saving him from getting his heart pierced. That wasn't moving me. but
that should annoy the piss out of me.
But actually, go ahead, Pat, if you want to talk about Damon Spade, because I'm not a huge fan of him. But go ahead.
Now, as far as the antagonists go, if we go in order, Mukuro, amazing, fantastic, A+ even, fantastic antagonist. Xanthus, amazing, fantastic, A+ even. Gamma, also amazing, very good. You see the trend, good antagonist, right? Mm-hmm. Then we get to Byakuran, complete garbage. He gets an F. He gets a fucking F.
You don't get a C minus.
No,
I gave him a C plus.
completely.
Damn, Pat.
You getting a C for me.
Then after that, we get to the inheritance arc. Damon Spade. This nigga's getting an S. Oh my god.
Let's go.
Oh my god. When I saw him,
you want
I
to
was
explain
like,
that one?
Yeah, okay. So he embodies the main problem that I have with Suna in this series, right? Because
he's too drippy.
What is
I'm
Reborn's?
kidding.
Reborn's goal is what? To make
the
Suna
neon first Vongola. I'm joking.
Real answer, yes. The 10th Vongola boss, right?
Yeah.
Right. The Vongola family is what?
A mafia family?
A mafia, right?
Yes, sir.
Mafia is not shits and giggles. This is a fucking gang, right?
That's right,
This
Mr. Pat.
This is an organized syndication that from time to time will commit illegal activities. So when Damon Spade was trying to tell this bozo Vongola Primo in the past that we need to expand our territory and make the Vongola a great organization, and then they could talk about let's just leave it as it is. It's fine the way it is now. Nigga.
He said, "Oh,
that
my pussy hurt."
Don't do Giosa like that, man. Don't.
Why Primo sound like that, man?
I'm saying, don't you?
Primo. Anyway.
Hey, yo!
We get to the current day. This nigga Damon Spade been festering throughout the generations of the Vongola, making the Vongola family what it is today, the biggest mafia family there is. And then he see this bitch ass nigga Sawada Tsuneyoshi talk about some B10 Vongola boss, and then this nigga Vongola no, he's so this nigga spoils Suna so much it pisses me off. He just let the nigga get away with everything. Let him do what he wants. If that's what you wish, then that should be nigga. You are running a mafia family.
My Pat, he's 14.
He's in duties. No. This nigga told Suna that it's okay if he declines the Vongola boss. What? You don't give this nigga the rings, the fucking gear, the gloves, a whole family.
You know what?
A tutor, the greatest hitman in the world.
That's funny to me because if I was a guard, like I can't get the ring back, bro. Fuck this D-grade ring. Give me the ring back.
We had a whole civil war where his life was in danger because he had to choose the Vongola successor, and Suna won. And now this nigga talk about something. I'm gonna decline. If I was Damon Spade, I'd be like, no. This nigga absolutely cannot become the next 10th Vongola boss because he's gonna ruin what I've been doing for generations. He's gonna undo all my hard work. I've been around making sure this family is prosperous, and then here come this nigga. Well, I'll never forget future arc. This nigga Suna talk about something. If it comes to it, I'll destroy the Vongola. You're gonna do what? You're gonna destroy the reason for why you have everything that you own now? Yeah, okay.
I thought that was beautiful.
No.
I thought so.
No.
Pat, I hear you, but again, I don't know if that's really on Suna or Primo because they didn't care for it to be mafia. That was the whole point. It was just to protect people they care about. That's all they wanted.
Well, they have to assume responsibility for what it has become.
I mean, yeah, they did. That's whole Primo's thing about sin. And Suna, what are you going to do if you have to take on the sin that we've all collected? None of them is shirked from that. They've all agreed that the Vongola family isn't pretty.
Yeah, well, this nigga Suna keep talking about, I'm not going to be the 10th Vongola boss. His indecisiveness up until the very last arc was just pissing me off.
No,
I'm like, bro, everything.
I just don't agree with I understand why you see it that way. I just don't agree with your perspective because
I don't think he was being indecisive. But yeah, go now.
That's fine. You don't have to agree.
No, I hear what he's saying. I understand, but my whole thing with Suna is first of all he doesn't want to, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. He does not want to actually be a mafia boss, but I think the concept and idea is if he were to actually the Vongola, he would turn it back to what it was originally from the first generation, which is kind of like a vigilante group that protects the area and the people that matter to them. And if bum ass Emma or whatever is her, he'll go protect him or whatever the case is, or if Dino needs him, he'll go help them. But he'll be a kinder version of it. That's actually why I think the chapter where Reborn calls him the Neon First Guardian is actually more appropriate because it'd be like the rebirth of the original Vongola family in that sense. And maybe it's not moving you, and I hear you and I get it. Because let me tell you something about me. I'm moved by the second Vongola. Alright? Vongola Secondo. He said it's time to throw hands, expand. It's time to flames of wrath, no weapon needed. That's the goal. Yes. So I hear you.
Honestly, hold on. I'm actually confused. Who the fuck picked that nigga? Because Giotto don't look like the type of nigga to pick some nigga like, let's blast these niggas. It had to be Spade. He's like, let's shoot the fucking store. This nigga didn't pay back my money. Fuck everybody at the grocery store, whether they had something to do with it or not. So I'm like, yo, this nigga moving type of different. Like Giotto, I can't see you picking a nigga like this unless Giotto died and he just like, all right, I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna go stupid. But like, I couldn't really see that. But Pat, I'm kind of with you too in the indecisiveness, especially towards the last thing. Really was bugging me, but we'll get there later.
Your point on him having what he has because of the family, it moved me. That point stands. The rest of it, I just think I don't agree. But
I'm gonna be honest. My few things is one, like, yeah, I agree with you for like the protection. Like, they gave him the resources to protect the people he cared about. But again, the only reason why he needs those things is because he was forced in a situation to be attacked in the first place, which he never asked for. If they never came to him with the mafia, he wouldn't need the power to protect people anyway. So it is still their fault. Like, there's just kind of more compensation, if anything, in my book.
But my thing about that is, at a certain point, I was okay with it. But by the time we get to the last arc's a little bit different. But it's like, bro, we have done the inheritance. We have went to the future. We have done, like, we even know the entire past of these goddamn generations, and you still want to act like I didn't ask for this. I didn't want, like, bro, it ain't about that anymore. Like, that time has passed when you beat fucking Navaria, when you went to the future, came back, when you beat the Simone family. Like, it's like, all right, bro, I know you don't want to do this, but like, we kind of too far beyond that point.
Okay, wait. I want to be careful here. So when we're talking about the last two arcs, what are we saying Suna was being indecisive here? Because I want to actually get the wording right.
He was being fucking indecisive about being the next Vongola boss. Every time they bring it up specifically, he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be the 10th Vongola." Like, bro, man,
here's a few things I want to say. We got to look at actions, not words. Okay, Suna's a 13-year-old kid, and we also have to remember that the entirety of like this show. Wait, listen. The entirety of the show was a little over a year, right? People can only grow so much in a year. When we were all younger, from the time I was 13 to 16, I was the same fucking moron. Okay, Suna went through tremendous amount of shit. Okay, cool. You're 6'5", whatever. You're cool. No one cares. Okay.
Hello.
So like with Suna, it's like Suna is a complainer at heart. Okay, everybody's core personalities within the series is the same. It's what kind of changes around that is different. Zangus, when he's older, he's still an arrogant dickhead and he'll kill you, but he's a lot more chill and he's not going to do that as the first option. He'll look at things. Suna's a complainer. That's not what he wants. But we know for a fact, based off future events of seeing it, Suna is going to be the boss. Suna's just complaining for the sake of complaining. It's like your friend that you always ask to like come and like do shit with, and they're like, "Nah, I kind of want to chill home," but they'll always hang out with you. That's just Suna.
I'm glad that you brought that up, Miles, because Suna, like, I want the chat to understand. I don't have a problem with characters who seem weak, cowardly, etc., because for those characters, for the most part, whenever push comes to shove and their backs are against the wall, they always exhibit courage and bravery when the situation demands it. But my thing is, those characters also steadily grow in their base personality before they have to get pressed. So take Senna, for example, from Ice Shield 21. Both him and Suna are both the same type of personality, right? In the beginning,
kind of. I hear you a little bit.
They're the same archetype. So in the beginning, he was completely afraid of everything. He always ran away. He was a gopher for everyone. He never stood up for himself. When he started playing football, he wanted to quit because football kind of scary. But after he played a couple more times, it got to the point where he was getting excited, looking forward to games. You got niggas like Agon trying to intimidate him, stand up to him and stuff like that. And this is like when he's not even on the field. Like I'm not even talking about the ISHIELD 21 version of Senna when he steps on the football field. I'm talking about base Senna was standing up to this nigga. I'm like, bro, that's growth. Suna, if he's not in hyper dying will mode, I can't stand him.
That's not true. This I'll actually fight anybody on. Suna changes in base drastically. It's just hard to tell. What did Suna... When Suna was in base, he wanted to fight Lancia. He was like, what the hell are you doing? He wasn't scared. He's the one that stepped up without hyper dying will for him. And that's early on in the series. He was ready. He's like, I see what the fuck you did. I gotta put the pause on.
That's in the middle of combat though. They're always gonna
that was before
stand
combat.
up when. But I'm saying like in a mood, in a situation. That's what I'm saying. He's always gonna stand up to the
okay, well let's look at the future arc there.
I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding that's going on about Suna's character. That's me personally.
Yeah,
I think you're.
I was gonna say, well, let's look at this, Pat. In the future arc, Suna is the one that makes all the actual decisions. He's the one that actually comes to understand what his position is, and he's like, all right, this is what we have to do, and he's the one that actually goes and makes, like, puts everyone together. And again, in the ending of the series, he is the one, based off what he saw from Lambo, he's the one that got everybody together. He was the one that told Reborn to his face, the one person he was kind of respectful and afraid of, that you need to shut the fuck up. I'm going to teach you because you're the one that's wrong in this situation. And he went and got every single person and said, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to beat Bermuda. And it worked. So I don't agree. I think throughout the entirety of the series, there's multiple moments without hyper dying will that Suna shows like, no, I am confident. I am the boss. Suna just complains because that's just the like falling back shit on that, like, you know, Eastern writers like to do. It's just gag.
So let me say this then. So I agree with. I'm actually the same position with Pat, but I was going to bring. Well, Miles, what you said, I was going to bring that point up later. That actually adds on to me and Pat's point, to so to speak, because it's like, yeah, outside. That's what I think. What you do, you always having a raw moment inside of combat never impresses me because the characters go back to the same goofy, stupid type nigga. Like a nigga be dumb in school, but then this thing got power and like he a genius in combat. But then we go back to school, this nigga a retard again. It's just like I'm trying to see like, but when you grow outside of those, yeah. So it's my fault. You stupid or else you a goofball.
You already said it.
It's too late.
That's fine.
I forgot where we at. My fault.
You know how they are. It's okay. Don't worry about it though.
Yeah. But it's just like outside of that, it's like all right. But it's like it's the moment that really impressed me. The two biggest moments that Suna cleared in the Rainbow arc was when he told Reborn shut the fuck up, and then he was going around like, yo, I got a plan, and he mustered everybody together. Then he went to Talbot, aka Naya's favorite character, and then he was like doing shit. He was making these moves and shit like that. That's what I was like, all right, I really see like the growth. But then he come back, he's like, all right, bro, you just round up everybody that you pulled through all your trials and tribulations to come together with a plan as the Vangala boss. And then it's like, we get back out, it's like, I don't want to be the boss. It's like, bro, got it too late for that, bro. Just be like, it's like, if it was the ease back on the reluctance and the no good type thing, like I know that's his character, but I'm trying to see a little bit more. I like that he acknowledged. It was really good of him. And he acknowledged, oh, I got this, I got that, this, that, and the other. But I would like a little more sense, like his chest poked out, his head held more, a little bit more high. Like I don't get him to be like complete the 10-year future self, but just a little bit more. I can feel like, all right, soon. I feel like this was the Soon that was talking to Reborn. You know what I'm saying? This is the Soon that was making these moves type beat. Because he's still kind of scary. And
that's all I'm asking.
This is gonna be my last point, and we can stop it because this is probably going on too long. People like lessons are hard for people to retain in their body or retain in their mind or whatever. When you learn something and you understand like the importance of it, you're not gonna now every other action you do in life isn't going to reflect that. There are gonna be moments that you go back. I think you guys are hankering too hard down on like Suna complaining, despite him having so many other moments of proving in and out of combat that like this is what he's going to do. So like, I don't know. I guess we'll just disagree.
No, I agree. I understand your point of